Confused throw for Nazball. Seconds are ticking away for Liverpool. 1 minute left to rescue themselves and take it to extra time. Murray's taken out by Kirsty Peeling. Murray from McGuigan. We're going to have to move it now. They've got to do something quickly now. Angie Gallimore with a throw. Julie Griffiths tried to put it in the mixer but didn't get any height on it. Right. Vicky Slee is there. Her positional sense has been excellent. The 90 minutes are up. We're into time added on. Liverpool, no, they've only got a throw of the dice left. Nice ball, trying to run away from one end to the other. Taylor, now for McGuigan. Liverpool have got players forward here. Maria Harper goes for it, but it's way off the pace, and again Pauline Cope comes down with a serious face on, and Vic Akers has got a serious face on too.
Yeah, he'll be very pleased with their performance. I mean, the second half, I think they've really sort of gone at Liverpool's throats and maybe just deserved the victory, although Liverpool had such a brilliant first half.
That's right, Arsenal hung in there when it was all going against them. Great credit to Becky Lonergan for the way she's taken her goals as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously, and Marianne getting the last one, but she'll be very pleased with. She likes scoring the old goals.
Scoring the winner. Easton is charged down by Nazball. It's a little bit harum-scarum and a little bit desperate. McGuigan for Murray. Vicky Slee was there again. Former Millwall player, Vicky Slee. This cup glory with Arsenal, if they can hang on in these last few seconds. Wide. There's Vicky Slee again. Arsenal have pulled everybody back. There's no one up. Although Becky Lonergan is putting the pressure on Lou Wright. Murray's header for Maria Harper. Jim Wiley made a vital challenge.
Yeah, the captain came good there again.
Julie Griffiths will be desperate to get on with this one now. Here's Harper. It's a long shot that's not so far away. Well, it was bold, it was brave. Was it the last throw of the dice?
Yeah, a nice turn, turning Jill there. It was dipping, but I don't think just quite enough, no.
Pauline Cope taking plenty of time.
That's it.
And that's it. The final whistle has blown. Arsenal have won the cup. They've beaten Liverpool by 3-2. Marion Spacey got the winning goal. An absolute scorching strike it was as well. Pauline Cope, the hero of the early stages, with some fantastic goalkeeping when Arsenal were really under the cosh. Becky Lonergan, the scorer of Arsenal's first 2 goals. What a contribution from her. And of course, winners and losers on Cup final day. Liverpool out of luck today. Sammy Britton, another one of Arsenal's heroes. Positional change in the second half when she dropped deeper. It helped tilt the balance to Arsenal. Kelly Few, the substitute, she'll be delighted to have got on. We got her piece of the action. Now let's go down on the pitch and join the celebration. Sue Thurles talking to Marianne Spacey.
Marianne Spacey, not a bad way to win a cup final.
Yeah, we didn't play particularly well today. I mean, Liverpool were a much stronger team, I think, today. But 3-2 says it all. We showed a lot of spirit, showed a lot of grit. At the end of the day, we come out the winners. So.
You scored some good goals in your times, but that one was a bit special, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's always special to score in a cup final. When it's a winner, I think it just makes it extra special. So
I think we can see it here, look. Do you want to talk us through it?
Not really, I can't remember it.
You've been threatening to do it for a while, haven't you?
Go and just sort of try and keep your feet and sort of go and just struck it. Nice.
A word about Liverpool, they played really well, didn't they?
Excellent. I think you can't say anything about this final derogatory about women's football. I think it's shown what a good final and what a good standard of football women do play, and I hope people come and watch us next year as well.
Marianne Spacey, thank you very much. Congratulations.
Well, congratulations to Arsenal and commiserations, of course, to Liverpool, who were twice in front there, led at half-time. But it's Arsenal, who haven't lost a game all season, that won the Women's FA Cup. Andy's in. Andy, you said at half-time, the one danger to Liverpool was that Arsenal couldn't play as badly for another 45 minutes, and you weren't wrong, were you?
I don't think they were at their best second half, but they've got a lot to thank that young lady we saw in the picture there, Becky Lonergan, because she, not the biggest, I mean, you can see that, the size of her. And I think maybe at the end of the day, the difference would have been the goalkeepers. We talked about Pauline Cope and goal for Arsenal, how well she played, Richard. I think maybe the Liverpool goalkeeper could have done a little bit better with that one. But at 2-2, I think everyone felt that Arsenal were going to go on and win it.
And Marianne Spacey got the winner.
She'd been quiet all first half, hardly had a kick in the ball. When players started to get tired, in the last 15 minutes, she started to do this, run at players, commit players, and she is a very talented footballer, there's no doubt about that. Probably the most talented one playing in women's football. And this showed everything good about her. Comfortable in the ball, taking people on, and that's a great finish again. I mean, the opening goal in the match was a super finish. That one probably bettered it.
Let's go back to Julian for the presentation.
The losers, Liverpool, who contributed so much to this final, are up to get their medals from the guest of honour, Lady Millichip, wife of Sir Bert, chairman of the FA, and Chief Executive Graham Kelly also there. Troy McGuigan, the substitute, and the player manager, Angie Gallimore, who must be very disappointed, Debbie, after their start.
Yeah, I mean, Angie will be absolutely devastated, and I'm sure a lot of the players were. I mean, I thought earlier on, when we weren't taking their chances, Arsenal actually come back at them.
Becky Lonergan, scorer of Arsenal's first 2 goals, going through. As the Gunners make their way up to collect the Women's FA Trophy, the Women's FA Cup. And Jill Wiley, the Arsenal skipper, receives it from Lady Millichip. Arsenal, the cup winners in '95, and will it go on to be a league and cup double? Terrific scenes. Arsenal win by 3 goals to 2.
Thank you, Julian, and Debbie Bampton, of course, England skipper, who was our co-commentator today, and well done, Arsenal. 3-2 winners of the Women's FA Cup. After the break, we'll be concentrating on the biggest game of the weekend so far from the Premiership. Upton Park is our venue. It's West Ham United against Blackburn Rovers.
There's only one place to see big-time boxing. The undefeated Prince Nassim Hamid defends his WBC International Super Bantamweight title against Enrique Angeles. The only place to see boxing. Big time, live and exclusive Saturday night at 9 on Sky Sports.
When people started travelling more often, we introduced what was right for the times. When people wanted to carry less cash, we also offered what was right for the times. And today, when the world doesn't always revolve on your terms, American Express introduces a credit card that gives you the credit you deserve. The new American Express credit card rewards you with an interest rate you'll appreciate and no fee for the first year. To apply, call now on 0800 700 717. It's the right card for the times.
This year, millions of people will have their hearing impaired and may suffer discomfort or even pain. The cause? Earwax. Now there's a new answer to problem earwax: Otex eardrops. New Otex is clinically proven to reduce the need for syringing. Its unique dual-action formula not only softens hardened earwax, but actually helps it fragment and disperse. Ask your pharmacist about new Otex. For clearer ears, there's been no better news in years.
Brighten up the scene. B&Q it. That's what I call believe. B&Q it. You can do it when you B&Q it. When it's time for new. B&Q it. We can fit it too. B&Q it. You can do it when you B&Q it. Going to make it yours. B&Q it. There's so many doors. B&Q it. You can do it when you B&Q it.
Oh, hello. Have you seen it? It's a new 3-in-1 exchange in Mart. Look, the motor section has thousands of cars with a price guide and buying advice too. The business section is packed with ideas and equipment and even tells you which mobile phone service is best for you. Very handy. And in home and leisure, there's everything from security systems to sun lounges. If you don't find what you're after, faster, I'll eat my hat.
Conventional wisdom has always told us what can and can't be done. If our engineers had respected convention, engine design would have compromised passenger comfort. And this car wouldn't exist.
Sky's Premier Sports coverage is presented in association with Ford.
And it's no goal. And that shows the spirit of the game as they shake hands.
Crowd is getting thrilled and plenty. The climax.
Gilbert is there, and he fires in a terrific shot.
1-1 after a really fine first half.
And again, he's trying every trick.
Oh, and a cracking goal! That was brilliant! That's a magical finish. Quite magnificent.
West Ham United versus Blackburn Rovers.
That is going to be one which will be...
Sky Sports with Ford Escort takes you to the heart of the action.
West Ham are unbeaten in 6. It's their best run of the season, but it's Blackburn today. Kenny Dalglish knows he's almost there, and he'll be looking to Alan Shearer to take them one step closer.
Ford Escort Super Sunday.
It's such a big day, this, for both West Ham and Blackburn. West Ham have been up or down in 4 of the last 6 seasons, and they've been in trouble all this time around as well. Results certainly went their way yesterday. Now it's up to them. Blackburn's fate is in their own hands as well. If they keep on winning, there's nothing Manchester United can do about it. But do they believe it? Blackburn are close to turning the dream into reality. Kenny Dalglish has won it before, of course, but Blackburn haven't since 1914. Since coming up 3 years ago, they've got closer and closer. Can they get over the finish line first this time? This isn't a game they'd have chosen. Let's not forget that the Hammers are fighting for their lives. Our live action from the FA Carling Premiership this afternoon is West Ham United against Blackburn Rovers. Only the 10th meeting since 1980. West Ham have won only 3 of those, 71 played down the years. Blackburn have won 36 of them. Here at Upton Park, 35 matches. West Ham have won 16, Blackburn 14. Well, this is what it's been about all season long. Of course, only Manchester United so far have had their hands on this trophy, but Blackburn have a loose grip on it now. You could argue this is the biggest game in their history. If they win here and Manchester United fail to beat Coventry tomorrow, then it's theirs. But it's a very big if. Kevin Moran, the former Blackburn and Manchester United defender, is our guest this afternoon. Do they believe, Kevin, yet that it's possible, or is there still some unease in the Blackburn camp?
There's definitely belief there. I think when you look at the position that they're in now, I said 8 points cleared and only 3 games left to go. There's certainly great belief that they're going to win the title this year.
And what about West Ham United? They come into this game just as desperate for the points, don't they?
They do indeed. The only great thing they have about West Ham here, this is a horrible ground it is for other teams to come to. The atmosphere is very tight, the fans really get behind West Ham. But just unlucky for West Ham to be coming into it without their leading goal scorer, Tony Cottee, and I think that's a bit of a blow for them.
Well, let's have a look at the FA Carling Premiership. Not too many clubs down the bottom end doing themselves a favour yesterday. Only Everton, really, who got a point off Wimbledon, but you could argue dropped 2 at Goodison against the visitors. West Ham there, Kevin, just outside the drop zone. Norwich City have played 40 with only 42 points. Are they looking as though they're going to join Leicester and Ipswich?
They very much so. I think they could possibly go down. But West Ham, as you said, it looks well when you see they've only played 37 games. But I honestly believe that what's more important when you're down at the bottom is to have the points now in the bag. And that's the reason why that today is a vital game for them to pick up points in and obviously look to try and get out of that.
What about Aston Villa, who lost yesterday? Of course, we'll see all the goals later. But lost yesterday at Leeds 1-0. In injury time. It's not really in their hands all of a sudden, is it?
It's not, but I have a sense that they've got to start believing in themselves. By all accounts, they played extremely well yesterday and unlucky not to come away with something, even 3 points out of that particular game. So it's up to Brian Little an awful lot there to lift the players' morale and to let them think that they believe that they will get out of that position that they're in.
Everton just ahead of Aston Villa. Then it's Coventry, our hosts tomorrow night on the Monday Night Football. Sheffield Wednesday, Manchester City and Chelsea. And up the top, confirmation. The top 2 really all that we're interested in this afternoon. That United are behind Blackburn by 8 points now. If Blackburn win here, Kevin, and that's 11, will United give it up?
No, they won't give it up. There's no way Alex Ferguson would ever give anything up, and he'd certainly instill that into his players. They'll still hope that maybe Blackburn can slip up. You must remember that if Blackburn still need at least 5 points, if United were to go ahead and win all their last 4 remaining games.
Well, let's have a look at the Sky Sports form guide. As usual, the last 6 league games. Look at Norwich down there, haven't won in 6. Bottom of the pile, below Ipswich, Villa and Sheffield Wednesday in the bottom 4 places. Top half is where we find both West Ham and Blackburn Rovers. West Ham unbeaten in their last 6. They're in their best form of the season. 7th there in the form guide. Blackburn Rovers have won 4 of their last 6, drawn 1 and lost 1, of course. Kevin's already given us a hint of some of the team news that we can expect from Nick Collins, who's waiting to confirm everything for us. Nick.
Well, disappointment for West Ham fans because Tony Cottee has been ruled out with a calf strain. That's the one change from the side that played at Ipswich 10 days ago. Let's have a look at how West Ham line up. Don Hutchison will take Tony Cottee's place up front alongside Jerome Boer. On the substitutes bench for the Hammers, Simon Webster, Matthew Rush and Les Seeley. That's the West Ham side. As for Blackburn, well, they make 3 changes from the side that beat Crystal Palace. Tim Sherwood and Colin Hendry are available again after suspension, and they give a debut to their Dutch international Richard Wisker, who will play in the middle of the back 4 for Blackburn in place of Ian Pearce, who's got a foot injury. That's the Blackburn side. Batty and Sherwood in what's sure to be a fairly combative midfield, and of course Sutton and Shearer up front. Mark Atkins makes way. He's on the substitutes bench along with Mike Newell and Bobby Mims. Well, with me is Tony Cottee. Tony, commiserations. How much of a frustration was it when you found out you weren't going to be able to play today?
Very frustrated. I've not had any injuries this year, so just very disappointed I can't play because it's a very important game.
Now, when we spoke in the middle of the week, you seemed fairly optimistic that you'd be all right for today.
Yeah, I was hopeful that I would make the game, but it just hasn't healed as well as I would have liked, and I just can't play today.
obvious disappointment, but from your point of view, how well do you feel West Ham can do today? Can you extend this unbeaten run of 6, for instance?
Yeah, of course we can. We put in one of our best performances of the season at Ewood Park. We lost 4-2 in the end, but we was leading them for an hour, and we played very well on the day. So we've got nothing to fear from Blackburn. It'll be a tough game, but with our squad of players that we've got, Don Hutchison will play well instead of me, and we'll do well today.
How big a factor can the Upton Park crowd be for you this afternoon?
Well, it's like a goal start for us, really, because they're very fanatical, very passionate. They'll get behind the team, and they'll make it very difficult for the Blackburn players. And if we get a goal up, they'll do well to come back from that.
How difficult is this one going to be for you to actually watch?
It's going to be a nightmare. I'm going to go up in the stand and watch that, but I'm not a very good watcher. Although I enjoy watching football, I don't enjoy not playing in the game, so it'll be difficult to watch.
All right, well, let's hope you're back in action soon, Tony. Thanks very much for joining us. Back to you, Richard.
Nick, thank you. It's a bit of a blow, that, isn't it? No Cottee.
That's right, a very big blow to West Ham United. He's the one that's almost kept them in the Premiership at the moment with the vital goals that he has got. And as I said earlier, that's going to be a big blow to them.
Blackburn Rovers do have David Batty available again. He plays, he's presumably timed his comeback to perfection, hasn't he?
He has. Honestly, talking to David, he wishes that he had timed it back about 20 games ago, if that was actually possible. But certainly, I would not have thought at the beginning of the season, if somebody said to me, how do you fancy Blackburn's chance of winning the championship without David Batty all season, I wouldn't have given it the chances. And I think that shows how strong the squad has been, that they've coped so well without David Batty. And now with him back in now, it's so much more, more formidable.
Of course, he won't qualify for a medal. There isn't time between now and the end of the season. But when he can do things like that, shrug Hughes off, look, ride the second challenge. Remember this from last season?
That's right.
And that's how important he is to their midfield, isn't he? And of course, you must remember that he's been there before. He's won a title medal.
That's
is that
right.
important?
That is very much important. I think as well, you're looking at the experience that David Batty will give to Blackburn as well. He holds the ball up very well. He gives an awful lot more options, I think, to the players as well. I think a lot of people used to think before Blackburn, they used to get at the back and hit it up front to look for the likes of Shearer and Sutton. Batty gives that another dimension because he comes short and he's all the time probing, looking for players. If ever you're in trouble and you want somebody around to help you, David Batty will be there.
Henning Berg and Hendry centre half. He's got Jeff Kenna playing at right back today, Lasso left. So there's a more solid look about their back four. But what about Vichka and the timing of his debut for Blackburn Rovers? Is that a gamble?
It won't be too much of a gamble because of the experience that the player has. He's been with Barcelona for a while, a Dutch international player, so he's got plenty of experience. The only thing is, coming to West Ham United for your first ever time in your first Premiership game, that'll be an experience that'll be interesting to see how he copes actually with that. But from a point of view of a player and ability and that won't be a problem to him.
I was going to say, what can you tell us about him that we don't know?
Well, he's got a tremendous left foot. I've seen him a number of games he's played in, and that they'll be looking for him to get wide onto that left-hand side and more or less to put in quality, which is exactly what possibly in some ways they've just slightly missed with Jason Wilcox being out.
So having said that about the back four, there's a more familiar look about their midfield as well. The two that we know about, Ripley wide right, presumably he prefers to operate there.
That's
and Vichka
right.
on the left-hand side.
He much prefers to be on the right-hand side rather than to be brought over to the left. And I think it gives, that's probably the reason why they've gone for that situation, to give a much more balanced look to Blackburn Rovers.
There is Richard Vichka, Ripley-like really in many ways, isn't he, with the hair there?
But this is a great opportunity for him now. He's on loan to Blackburn till the rest of the season. Obviously, he's got to have been pressed in training for Kenny to throw him in at this stage of the season then as well. So who knows, from his point of view, a move to possibly the league champions and a place in European Champions Cup next season.
Well, let's check out the form. We start with the first meeting between these two at Ewood Park earlier in the season when West Ham gave Blackburn a real scare. Shearer opened the scoring, and in doing so he reached the landmark of getting a goal against every Premiership club for Blackburn. But West Ham hit back, and after Tony Cottee equalised, they took the lead through Julian Dicks. But Shearer got two more as Rovers ran out 4-2 winners. They were 6 points clear at the turn of the year. A win against Forest followed before the top two met at Old Trafford. Manchester United won it thanks to Eric Cantona, although Blackburn felt they'd scored a perfectly good equaliser.
Shearer coming in. Oh, Shearer! No! He's given a push against Alan Shearer, but... Oh, and
You may never hear the last of this in the Blackburn point of view.
West Ham were hit by a controversial decision as well. Alvin Martin sent off for this challenge on Mark Bright, and Sheffield Wednesday took full advantage.
Waddle. Bends it. Oh, brilliant! Brilliant goal!
Worse followed when Tim Breaker was sent off for a second bookable offence, and Bright made it 2-0. The Hammers were now down in 20th place. Blackburn bounced back from that defeat against United with a win over Ipswich and a draw against Leeds, but they met Spurs in good form, losing for only the 4th time. The gap at the top was now down to 2 points. At the other end of the table, the Hammers faced Everton. Tony Cottee tore his old mates apart.
He's going low. Tony Cottee! Oh, what a goal! Tony Cottee!
He got 2, but they were only worth 1 point. Icy conditions at Villa Park for Blackburn, who had taken 7 points from the previous 9, and it was Colin Hendry who got a vital winner here. They were still clear at the top. The Hammers had lost 3 out of 4 going into their game against Norwich, and when Robert Ullathorne put the visitors 2 up, it looked bad. But Cottee bailed them out again. That result lifted them just outside the drop zone. And after earning another draw at Southampton, the Hammers grabbed 3 points at Villa Park thanks to an inspirational opener from John Moncur. Shearer got his 31st league goal of the season, and Blackburn held on for 3 more points. And the gap was now 6. West Ham were enjoying their best spell of the season when they took on Wimbledon. Unbeaten in 4, they extended that run to 5. But the battle at the bottom was still so tight. Rovers beat Queen's Park Rangers before the difficult trip to Elland Road, where Hendry scored his 3rd goal of the season, but it wasn't enough.
All back for Blackburn. Pemberton! Goal! Brian Dean!
West Ham's last game was against Ipswich. It was only thanks to Boro's last-minute goal that they earned a point and maintained their unbeaten run. That evening, Blackburn played Manchester City, and when Shearer capitalised on Coton's mistake to give them an early lead, a win seemed inevitable, but City turned on their best performance of the season.
And it comes to Walsh! Yes! Manchester City are 3-2 ahead!
That closed the gap to 5 points. So the pressure was on in Blackburn's last game against Crystal Palace, but Kevin Gallagher's goal proved to be the winner, and this eased the tension. For Redknapp and Dalglish, this game is vital for vastly different reasons. Their whole season could revolve around this one result. West Ham United unbeaten in 6. It's their best form of the season and very timely as well. 86 points Blackburn have got. That would have been enough to win it in 7 of the last 13 seasons since we had 3 points for a win. They're the top scorers with 78, 47 of them from the SAS. The best away record in the Premiership as well. They've lost at only Norwich, Manchester United and Tottenham. West Ham have won only 7 at home, one of the reasons why they're in trouble. Leading scorers, no Cottee today of course. Boro's got 6, Hutchison 6, Dicks 5, Alan Shearer 32 for Blackburn Rovers, the Players' Player of the Year. Sutton's got 15, Atkins and Sherwood 6 apiece. West Ham 59 booked and 3 sent off. Blackburn's record's very similar, 54 booked and 4 off. The last 3 league games, West Ham drew with Forest 1 apiece, beat Wimbledon 3-0 and drew with Ipswich 1-1, a last-minute goal from Boro there, And Blackburn drew with Leeds 1 apiece. Lost to Manchester City, of course. We saw that live here on Sky Sports, but eased the tension with a 2-1 win over Crystal Palace. The SAS, 47 goals between them so far this season. So far, has it been a one-man title crusade, Kevin? And that man being Alan Shearer.
That's right. In many ways, you'd look at 32 goals. It's phenomenal, really. But he'd be the very first one to hold up his hand and say the contribution that Chris Sutton has given, as well as the rest of the team, but especially Chris Sutton has given to that 32 goals.
Is he the best in the country?
Oh, without a doubt. His fellow pros, the footballers around have voted him that. And you can't get any greater accolade, I believe, than your own players voting you the Player of the Year. And the reason why is because of the goals he scored. But not only that, is the other contribution that he gives to the team as well.
Sutton actually has only scored 2 league goals since November, 15 in total as we saw. So what has he contributed then?
His work rate. I've been amazed with his work rate. An awful lot of the times when they need an extra body in midfield, it's Chris Sutton that drops from the front into the midfield and works. And his work rate around there and actually up front then, I think has been incredible. And sometimes he's sacrificed an awful lot of himself being in the box in order to do other work outside it.
So it's been a good first season for him.
Oh, it's been an excellent first season. Well, if he comes away with a Champions League medal, it most certainly will be. Obviously, from the start of the season, I think it was vital that he got so many goals then, because that eased the pressure on him being the £5 million transfer. But later on, as you say, he's only scored possibly 2 goals since last November, I think. And but there wasn't as much pressure on him because he'd got the initial possible 15 goals before that.
And it's not bad when your strike partner bangs in 32, is it? That helps.
But the great thing about it is everybody talks about it in terms of the SAS. So he's very much an integral part of that. So when they talk about 47 goals or so being scored between them, that's Chris Sutton as well as Alan Shearer.
Well, Blackburn have brought a fair number of supporters with them today. Big game this, of course, for them. And they've, amongst them, a big fan.
Well, Shawn, first of all, what brings you to Upton Park today?
Well, as a matter of fact, I'm here to support the Blackburn Rovers, as a matter of fact. I have a distant relative that's from Blackburn, so my mother tells me. So I'm pulling for the Blackburn Rovers.
Have you seen them play before?
I haven't got the opportunity. Today's my first time, but I'm looking forward to it. It should be great fun.
And when a wrestling fan's going to see you in action?
Well, the World Wrestling Federation is coming on tour in June. We're going to be on June 21st. We're going to be in Birmingham at the NEC, and then of course on June 22nd, right here in London at the Royal Albert Hall, where Bret the Hitman Hart, The Undertaker, all the World Wrestling Federation superstars, including, of course, me, are going to be here, electrifying the fans of London.
How much are you looking forward to this afternoon's game?
I'm really looking forward to it. I'm hoping Mr. Shearer scores, I don't know, maybe round it off at 35 goals this year. I think that'll be good for us.
Do you have a message for the Blackburn players and supporters?
Oh, well, do whatever you have to do to win. That's what I do. So,
Shawn, enjoy the game. Thank you
very much.
Well, I said big. I think Nick's chasing him for size, isn't he? Shawn Michaels there, who's here to support Blackburn Rovers today. It's West Ham against Blackburn, and an early opportunity here for all of us to play ball. It's Blackburn West Ham action as well from Ewood Park, when the pitch looked a lot better than it does at the moment. In the sunshine, Kevin Gallagher about to appear in the picture on the left-hand side, heading for that near post. There he is, the ball's gone. Where does it end up? A, B or C? 3 choices as usual. A's over the top, B's a goal, and C is wide right of that post. A, B or C? The lines are open, 0891 700 550. 0891 700 550. £200 is the top prize, and of course there are Sky Sports t-shirts for the runners-up. 0891 700 550. West Ham United against Blackburn Rovers. It's close now. I asked Andy Gray a little earlier, Kevin, do you think it'll go on beyond this weekend? Bearing in mind, of course, that the maths are that if Blackburn win here, Manchester United have to beat Coventry. Do you think it'll go on beyond this weekend?
I do. I definitely think it will. I think Blackburn will get a result here, but I honestly believe that Manchester United can do likewise tomorrow, and that certainly the championship won't be decided this weekend.
If Blackburn don't get the win here, how will they react to that? I mean, are we expecting too much of them, thinking that they might come and pick up 3 points?
No, that's what I think. I don't think it's going to be a question of them having to win this game here. I think it's a question of them not losing the game
So
here.
a good result is to come away with a point?
Will come away with a point, yes indeed. Obviously looking for the win. But if they come away with a point, that's still putting the pressure very much so on Manchester United.
To be fair to West Ham, with the way results went yesterday, I suppose a point for them wouldn't be bad either.
Wouldn't be bad either. No, absolutely. And I think, as you say, West Ham, they're a form team at the moment. You know, unbeaten in their last 6 games. That that'll give them an awful lot of encouragement coming into today's game, and I could possibly see it being a stalemate by the end of the 90 minutes.
You can be sure that West Ham won't be setting out like that. They'll want the 3 points to be breathing a little easier tonight. It's a vital game. The streets outside at the moment, busy as you can see. Blackburn are here in numbers. They know how important this is to them. They've had one slip, of course, already in the last fortnight, beaten at home by Manchester City. That sets a few doubts about the camp, but not after the win over Crystal Palace. They believe that the Championship is heading to Ewood Park for the first time since 1914. And they're here to try and make sure for Blackburn Rovers this afternoon. Tomorrow night, of course, it's Coventry against Manchester United, live here on Sky Sports. But it's a big day for the Hammers, who are just outside the drop zone. 3 points here would be a good afternoon's work for them. They're unbeaten in 6. They'll be looking to make it 7 against the Rovers, which is our live football on Super Sunday.
Continuing our coverage of the Benson & Hedges competition, Sky Sports presents last year's quarter-finalists Kent versus Somerset, live from Canterbury. Top-class cricket, exclusively live starting Tuesday morning at 10:45 on Sky Sports.
Models think their hair looks healthy, but a close-up can be a real disappointment. That's why I recommend new Pantene Pro V Plus with even more Pro Vitamin B5.
The Pro Vitamin B5 not only nourishes the roots, it penetrates the whole of your hair right to the tip, leaving it shiny and healthy looking.
Even close-up.
New Pantene Pro V Plus, daily treatment for healthy looking hair.
Unifiller from Unibond. Its added adhesive means when it goes in, it stays in. Unifiller. It won't let you down.
Whatever life throws at you, you're not alone. Sun Alliance is worldwide.
We are helping millions of families to cope with the uncertainties of life in over 50 countries. Sun Alliance. Together we make Sun Alliance.
Two Tetleys, please. Draft Tetleys in can.
Oh, this is the 19th century.
Marvel of the industrial age. Smooth brewed in genuine Yorkshire squares. There is one problem. When you invent the train, you also invent the train spotter. Tetleys, smooth brewed since 1822.
Returning Monday at 6, Spellbound. It's your chance to win
£1,000
with lucky letters. Call this number anytime except between 5:30 and 6, or write to this address to receive your letters. If they're lucky, you could be telephoned during the show. Answer a simple question and you've won
£1,000.
Be watching Spellbound, returning Monday at 6 on Sky 1.
We're in London's East End this afternoon. The tale of the East Enders season has been a nightmare, really. West Ham just outside the drop zone, unbeaten in 6. So they're putting some form together just at the right time. But they need to continue that run here this afternoon against a Blackburn side who have been dreaming and still are about getting their hands on the championship trophy. They're close. Jamie Redknapp there, who's he supporting today? Did his dad, of course, a big favour yesterday with Liverpool winning at Norwich. That eased the pressure on West Ham, but they have to play Blackburn yet and West Ham. That'll be an interesting day, won't it? Jamie Redknapp, son of West Ham manager Harry, of course. Blackburn Rovers fans have made the long journey south. Well turned out as well, aren't they? Hoping for one final push from their side after the hiccup against Manchester City. They beat Crystal Palace. Today it's West Ham United at Upton Park. Alan Shearer with 32 league goals so far, 3-1 to get the opening goal. Sutton, his partner, at 6-1. Bura of West Ham, 8-1. Hutchison, who plays because Cottee doesn't, 10-1. Dicks, 12-1. He scored at Ewood Park, of course, Julian Dicks. Among Kerr's 16s, Hendry, who's got some vital goals for Blackburn recently, 28-1. Lasseau, 33s. Berg, 66-1. And Potts of West Ham, 100-1. Blackburn odds on to win it. 5-2 West Ham United. 5-2 the draw. And here's a gentleman with a foot in both camps this afternoon, the former West Ham defender Tony Gale, who's on for a title medal. He's with Nick Collins.
Tony, first of all, what's the mood like in the Blackburn camp?
Yeah, it's very good. All looking forward to the game, the boys. It's a lovely day out there, lovely sunny day, and the pitch looks in good nick. So yeah, they're really looking forward to it.
Are they relaxed, or as relaxed as you can be at this stage of the season?
As you say, as relaxed as you can be. I think it's going to be a tense game for both sides. West Ham needing the points as much as us for different reasons, but yeah, it might be a bit of a nervy and a hectic start, but once it settles down, I think we'll have a good game today.
Any conflict of interests for you at all, back at your old club?
Yeah, real conflict. I want to win for Blackburn. No, I've spoke about it this week in the press and everything. Obviously I don't want to see West Ham go down, but for my own personal reasons and for all the people back in Blackburn, we need the win today.
If you get it, you think that'll be it? That's the end of the title race?
Well, no, not really, because realistically, I think you've got to say to yourself that Manchester United, who are very capable, might win their last 4 games, so that leaves us needing 5 points to win it. But it will go a long way towards it.
All right, enjoy the game, Tony. Thanks for joining us. Well done.
What a good signing that was for Blackburn Rovers. The player he replaced, of course, the ageing Kevin Moran, who's our guest on Super Sunday this afternoon.
The very ageing.
Very ageing. Right, who's going to win it? West Ham or Blackburn Rovers? Let's find out.
Well, it's important for both teams, really, but West Ham need at least a draw to pull away from Palace and that.
Well, obviously, we need 3 points to get ourselves out of the relegation zone, but we know it's going to be a hard game. But I think we'll come through in the end if we can beat them today.
Very important, really. It's with the 2 teams losing yesterday, I think we've got a cushion. But if we do the 3 points, or the 1 point,
we've got to win. That's just it, really. We've got to win. We're going to stay up. That's it. End of the day.
But I don't think we're going to go down at all. I think the 2 teams that fight it out will be Palace and Aston Villa. Aston Villa on the down and not us. We're on and up. We played some great football.
Anything today is a bonus. A point would be nice. Palace and Villa will be shaking in their boots if we get 3 points.
What would a win today do for Rovers?
I think it would clinch the title for us. I think it would put a lot of pressure on Manchester United for the next two games that they've got to play. That could be it.
It's a very tough match today, and I'll be happy with a draw, really. But if we win, then yeah, first trophy in 81 years. What more can you ask for?
It's just not over until it's over, as far as I'm concerned. And I would never be optimistic enough to think that a win today would be it. But obviously, if we do win, brilliant. We're getting there.
We're nearly there. We're a bit nervous today. Another 3 points, and I think Manchester United would give up.
It didn't mean a lot to the players. It didn't mean a lot to the fans. Another 3 steps closer. It's almost in the bag, isn't it?
Or is it? There's some real anxiety about the place, not surprisingly, bearing in mind just how big this is this afternoon. But nobody there, Kevin, either West Ham or Blackburn supporter, prepared to say, we'll win this, are they?
I tell you, even among the fans, I don't know what it's going to be like among the players, but even among the fans, you can feel a bit of nervous tension among them. No, because they can't. West Ham, even though they're playing at home, just know they're playing against the league leaders as well. And Blackburn, they're almost afraid there to go out and say, yes, we'll win this game, the supporters, because just in case they don't.
Ironically, there was as much riding on this game last season when Blackburn Rovers came here chasing the title and having to win, and they did. Henningberg got them off to a great start, but West Ham United on the night did exactly what you were suggesting a little earlier they will do today. They won't lie down, will they?
Not
and here,
at all.
they're a totally different proposition to when they're on their travels.
Absolutely. If this game was at Ewood Park, I would certainly fancy, no doubt about it, Blackburn, because I don't think West Ham are the greatest at travelling. And great result there, great strike by Pearce. But on their home ground, as I said, they're a very formidable force, and with the crowd behind them, as passionate as they will be. And we must remember as well that over the last few years, West Ham have been in this situation before, down in the bottom, in the relegation dogfight, and sometimes you need experience of it to help you to get out of it. Norwich have never really been there. Look what's happening to them. They're on the slide all the time. West Ham, they know what they have to do. They won't give up right till the very end.
Blackburn Rovers were in this position last season, of course, but slightly different. They were chasing. They're out in front this time around. Does that make it different?
It makes it an awful lot easier, I believe. You ask any team, they'd much rather be on top of the league looking down rather than the other way around, because you're all the time and you're in second position looking in front, waiting for the other team to slip up, and that's a horrible feeling to have, because it doesn't happen. It doesn't often happen that when you're out there in front, the confidence is flowing from the team as well, and that's what I believe the situation at the moment is.
Might that be the biggest factor on the day here? The Blackburn Rovers are away and out in front and confident. West Ham have got to chase.
Absolutely, that'll give them very much the edge, I believe, slightly today, because of that fact. They've got a nice cushion. They know that they can actually lose. But so West Ham have a bit of cushion as well. They've got an extra couple of games on the other relegation teams down there. So, but more so Blackburn situation. 8 points clear. We can afford a little bit of a slip. As I said, possibly a draw will be a nice result for both teams.
So are you prepared to stick your neck out and say, I believe, and be the first man this afternoon, I believe 3 points are going here?
I just said, I believe it could end up a draw. I think that the things will be shared today. But you never know. Football, you can never say. I fancy a draw, 1-1 draw.
West Ham United just outside the drop zone. Blackburn Rovers on top, 8 points clear. If they win here, is it all over? Well, we'll see Manchester United's response tomorrow. Whatever happens, they're at Highfield Road and playing Coventry City. That's live on the Monday Night Football. It's West Ham and Blackburn. And they've brought a fair amount of support as well. A long, long way south. They're close to their first championship for 81 years. It's in their hands. Let's join our match commentators at Upton Park, Andy Gray and Martin Tyler.
Hi Richard, hello again everyone. Yes, I think back in the studio, quite right to talk about Blackburn having not been through this successfully before, but there is a certain Kenny Dalglish who's been through it several times and successfully, and surely now as the run-in nears its climax, he's going to be even more important.
I think he will be in between games, Martin. The unfortunate thing for Blackburn is they can't strip Kenny Dalglish, stick a number 9 or number 7 jersey on and put him out there. That would help them even more in the run-in. But Kenny, no doubt, from Saturday to Saturday or Sunday to Sunday now, as the season goes, will be able to calm his players, focus them on the right things, not let them think too far ahead, because even with only a fortnight to go, you can think too far ahead at the moment, but concentrate on what he always says, each game at a time, and I think that's exactly what he'll be doing. The way they did with Liverpool, the way he did, I'm sure, when he played for Celtic and won many championships north of the border, game by game.
Well, let's look at the details of the team that Blackburn Rovers are facing today. And West Ham's plans upset by a calf injury, which Tony Cottee picked up at Ipswich on Easter Monday, and which sadly for him hasn't cleared up. So their record signing Don Hutchison plays up front alongside Jeroen Bura. Michael Hughes came back from Northern Ireland's win in Latvia, also unfit, so the midfield is unchanged, with Martin Allen, not a natural wide player, needed on the right-hand side. Alvin Martin still missing at the back, but on the bench, 31-year-old Simon Webster, who's still waiting for his West Ham debut, getting on for 2 years after coming here from Charlton, but he's been away proving his fitness on loan at Oldham.
It is a blow that top goal scorer isn't fit, Martin, but I think Don Hutchinson's got a lot to prove. His manager's been very scathing of him this week, and he'll be out to prove his manager wrong. But the two most important people, I think, in this side today are the central midfield players, Moncart and Bishop. I think they make the team tick. If they can get enough of the ball, if their passing's good and accurate, then they can cause Blackburn problems.
Well, Kenny Dalglish has regained the services of two of the Blackburn backbone, Colin Hendry and Tim Sherwood, after suspension. But he has lost the unlucky Kevin Gallagher and Paul Warhurst. David Batty continues his comeback, but with Jason Wilcox missing the run-in, the balance on the left of midfield has been a problem. So it's debut day for Dutch international Richard Witschke, who's on loan from the French club Bordeaux. Ian Pearce has had a foot injury, so Henningberg stays in the centre of the defence with Jeff Kenna at right back.
Well, there might be one or two changes in personnel there, but it's the same formation that Kenny's used, well, most of his career at Blackburn Rovers. It will be the 4-4-2 formation, and again, can the team stop Sutton and Shearer? That is a big question today.
Well, down in the tunnel, all the pre-match tension surrounding the bottom and the top of the table. Blackburn won here a year ago, but that turned out to be the end of their championship challenge. A win today, and they are within touching distance of the title. Those blue and white halves, always their trademark up in the northwest, but never before worn by so many youngsters around the country who've been caught up in Rovers' amazing progress in the Premiership. Well, they're out there early. Andy, is that nerves, do you think?
No, I think it's keen to get on with the job in hand. They know it's close, they keep talking about it, and they know more than anyone how close it is, and I think the boys there just want to get out, get on with the job. I think you'll find more nervous faces in the claret and blue shirts, Martin. It's a vitally important game for them, probably more so.
But they did have an excellent day yesterday without even playing. Now they have the chance to pull away from those fellow strugglers who lost. Upton Park, crammed to capacity. Vital Premiership points at stake. It's West Ham United and Blackburn Rovers. It's live after the break.
Meet Kate, Benny, Sandy, and Bob. They're the Blockbuster Entertainment team. They buy more copies of new films for you to rent than anyone.
I want 25,000 copies nationwide.
So that when you want to watch it, we got it. Blockbuster Video, the entertainment team.
JJB Sports and Adidas have done it again. With the revolutionary torsion response, senior sizes $54.99. The Torsion Advanced is at $44.99 for seniors and $29.99 for juniors. And finally, the Adidas Truant, only $34.99 at JJB Sports.
Everyone's a winner, baby.
Sadly, the Hyundai Elantra has side impact bars, power steering, 3 years unlimited mileage warranty.
Next is number 4 Railway Cottages.
4 Railway Cottages. Oh, hold on. This'll do.
Yes, but I thought what you wanted was...
I wanted small hill too, actually. Daffodils all over. Maybe a croquet lawn. I'll keep the sheep.
Since it costs from as little as £8,999,
These bits either side, could they be pointy? Pointy?
you could get horribly used to having everything you want.
Peacocks there, both sides, there. I think there should be more earth here. I want the earth.
The Hyundai Elantra, when all you want is everything.
S'il vous plaît, le chemin est long et ma roue est cassée.
Monsieur, la vache est prête à véler, mais le veau est mal engagé.
Comment vous remercier? Monsieur! Oh, une bière pour monsieur, s'il vous plaît.
Une Stellar, toi.
Et la monnaie?
The World Superbike season begins with round 1 from Hockenheim, Germany. Britain's Carl Fogarty is out to retain his World Championship title, exclusively live next Sunday morning. Sky Sports with Ford Escort takes you to the heart of the action. West Ham United versus Blackburn Rovers, live. Ford Escort Super Sunday.
As another Premiership season reaches a fascinating climax, this is a really big game. West Ham against Blackburn Rovers. Our match commentators Andy Gray and Martin Tyler.
Our match referee is Kelvin Morton, wondering whether this will be his last game at this level. He hopes the Premiership authorities will extend his career in the middle another year, but he has to wait to hear that news. Jack Walker. Blackburn Rovers closing in on his dream. But there's still work to be done. A point I'm sure Kenny Dalglish has hammered home to his players. Ray Harford, his right-hand man to his right-hand side. Blackburn to kick off. A win for them and the crown is virtually theirs. Defeat would surely put doubts in their minds, and West Ham have plenty of incentives to look for their own inspiration here. Those results went so well for West Ham yesterday, particularly the defeats for Norwich, Crystal Palace and Aston Villa. Here's Henningberg. Shearer wondering where this might drop. The strong Danish defender Mark Reaper seeing him off. It's a free kick called against Shearer.
He did well, Reaper. I thought the goalkeeper should have come and given him a hand. Certainly that's what Reaper was looking for. This is a long ball. It's in the air a long time. I thought Ludek McCloskey saw his starting position about penalty spot. I thought he could have helped his defender, but he did well, kept his body between Shearer and the ball.
First involvement for Richard Vichka to dispossess Tim Breaker well, and then second involvement to head the ball forward to where Chris Sutton is brought down. Lasso. So welcome to England to Richard Vichka. He hasn't played for Holland for more than 3 years now. His older brother Rob's rather taken the limelight from him internationally. Sutton. Battling to get it back again, typically. But it's a West Ham throw. Well, West Ham went down in 89, again in 92. That 3-year cycle is up again, but 6 matches unbeaten going into today's contest. A real indication that they're determined under Harry Redknapp to stay put in the Premiership. Pitch has been heavily watered.
Good nick the pitch, man. I had a little walk across it earlier, and it is in very good nick. No excuses from the players at all in that department.
And pretty well grasped for this stage in the season. Good. West Ham's Dutchman. Bishop. Well, the crowd certainly doing their best to inspire West Ham. Harry Redknapp has been whipping up the support with his pre-match comments. Something we often emphasise about matches here at Upton Park. West Ham do love playing the evening games, but it's natural light here. Whether they'll be able to come up with quite the same intensity that happens in midweek remains to be seen. The home record this year hasn't been very impressive. Hutchison is flagged offside. Andy, you mentioned those comments about Don Hutchison in a couple of national newspapers from Harry Redknapp, and Harry denies having said what has been attributed to him, and he's apologised to Don Hutchison. So all is pretty well between player and manager on that front. Bishop gets a foot in. Cult figure of Julian Dicks. The Blackburn captain is Tim Sherwood. Henningberg at centre-back. David Batty just glad to be back. Ripley did well to ease it infield to Shearer. Sherwood. Vichka set off. Pass too strong for him. His starting position perhaps a bit on the narrow side.
Little unlucky, Blackburn. Trying to play football even in their own half and under pressure, trying to pop the ball about, work some space early on.
Allen hoisting it, it'll veer through to Flowers. Lasso. Breaker did well to deal with the bounce. Moncur, ball player in midfield, and Bishop not far behind in that respect. Here's Dicks. Cross to the deflection, gets to Boora's head. That's the strength in his game. Breaker, Bishop. And Vichka working back well. Batty. Well, Hutchison, who can be a bit fiery when challenged, and has had more disciplinary problems in his career than he would wish. Just wondering whether his feet were flailing here, but he was going for the ball.
I think it was the second time round, this one here.
That one, yes.
When he's really jumped in two-footed at Richard Vichka.
Dicks. Batty well played. Sutton. Blackburn's throw, quickly delivered by Sutton. Oh, Ripley hasn't had any luck in front of goal this season. He's been a great provider of goals for others, but he hasn't scored all season long himself.
That's an incredible statistic, that. It's not as if he doesn't put himself in positions to score goals either.
Here's Holmes. Now Dicks. Bora calling for it. Goes instead to Hutchison. So, trigger something off for Blackburn here with the help of Vichka. Bishop in the way. Hutchison. Allen. Breaker. And Tim Sherwood wanting the referee to give Blackburn a bit of protection here. 1 or 2 West Ham tackles flying in.
Well, they're fired up for it, man, that's the thing. They're on a good run, as we've said already on the programme, and Harry's got his side fired up for this match.
And their fate is very much really dependent on their home form. 4 out of 5 at home, including today for West Ham United. Son. Vichka slipped, Breaker. Batty there to lend a hand. Here's Lasso. Sherwood, quite a stable of internationals Blackburn have now, including Jeff Kenna, who won his first cap for the Republic of Ireland last Wednesday as a substitute against Portugal. Sutton. Vichka was looking for a bit more from Lasso, who had some good grace to apologise. I don't think it was totally his fault, but there was certainly a breakdown in communication on the left-hand side for Blackburn.
Been a very positive and confident start from Blackburn.
Bora. Oh, Vichka flying back to get involved again and rushing past Ray Harford there, who might just have encouraged him to offer more of the same. Batty. Here's Kenna. Reaper is well built to pick things off in the air. So, at the moment, West Ham having to do the defending, but more on the edge of the area. Blackburn haven't looked like penetrating yet, but they've set the agenda here positively.
Very confidently. They've popped the ball about really well, Blackburn. And I think West Ham have been quite happy to retreat to the edge of the 18-yard box and then say, OK, we're going to defend here in numbers.
Allen filling that slot on the right of the four in midfield for West Ham. Bora on Kerr offside. It certainly looked that way. It was just a case of waiting for the flag to come.
He's kept a good line a couple of times, Blackburn. Once or twice here. You watch Henningberg, he just holds his line. Up goes the hands. Quite clearly offside.
Fine tackle by Potts. And Shearer, crowd enjoyed that. Holmes twisting and turning. Not delivering deep enough for Bora or Hutchison. And here's Lasso on the move. Allen. Blackburn defending well up the field again. They might not be too concerned about pace in the West Ham front line, although Hutchison's a decent mover. Bora is more an attacker of crosses than a runner in behind defenders. He'll be looking for some supply from wide positions, and he's chipped in with some useful goals recently for West Ham. He's challenging here, Berg. He drops him on Kerr. Hendry in the way, played wide to Allen by Bishop. Good idea. A rash lunge by Martin Allen on Graham Lasso. Kelvin Morton showing a sympathetic viewpoint to the importance of this game and a smiling countenance to try and diffuse the early tension.
I happen to think it's quite refreshing, Martin. I've been at games with 3 tackles, the likes of which we've seen, with 3 yellow cards following them. So it's quite refreshing that the referee is showing a bit of leniency.
The neuroses that might be around this game, we should remember there are some pretty fine footballers on view. And
if the game settles and flows, there is a real chance of being some wonderful football played. I think all 4 central midfield players want to get on the ball and want to pop passes and bring other people into play.
It was of course a classic between the two sides in January up at Ewood Park. West Ham played so well, they were 2-1 up. They conceded 2 penalties. Shearer got a hat-trick and Blackburn won 4-2. Not without a lot of heartache along the way. Vichka getting a foot in. Here is Shearer, runs out off Allen. Lasso. Batty. Blackburn get it back again. Batty on the business end of things. Rebounds off Ripley to be collected by Kenna. Kenna's had 1 or 2 jobs in his short Blackburn career. He's played at left back, he's played wide right midfield, and he's at right back today. Ripley's cross. Oh, and Reaper headed it away from his own goalkeeper, but he got it away. That's the main thing.
Don't mind that, Martin. I think goalkeeper might have a little word with him, but if you're a centre-back and you're not sure, then Mark Reaper, for me, did the right thing. Cleared his lines. Watch it, he's not sure. It's a teasing and testing ball. And that's a good clearance. He gets it well outside the 18-yard box. And I think at the end of the day, his goalkeeper would be happy with that. He's been involved quite a lot in the opening 13 minutes. He's coped well so far.
It's another Scandinavian centre-back who's in the wars. Henningberg, who plays in the middle of Norway's defence, scored a goal for them in midweek, and he got a boot here from Bora. Kenny Dalglish has had to chop and change and come up with some different personnel with suspensions and injuries. Timely recovery from Batty, of course. Ripley, and Sherwood complaining that he was obstructed by Rupert, who stood his ground and let the goalkeeper collect, and Sherwood couldn't get round him.
No, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. As a defender, you're entitled to stand your ground. You mentioned David Batty, Martin, at a time when they need a cool head and someone with authority. To be able to call on him in the last month of the season, it must have been, oh well, Kenny must have been absolutely delighted with that. Such an influential person in this side, I felt last year. And to be able to call upon him, I think Mark Atkins has done a wonderful job in as his replacement. But I think Kenny knows his experience, and he's been we often talk about having gone the distance. David Batty has gone the distance in a league championship win with Leeds, and that'll be vital.
Yes, that was 3 years ago, and of course Manchester United came here to Upton Park in the driving seat. West Ham were on their way down and still won the game. And Leeds went on to take the title. Colin Hendry is hurt, and they can get some attention to him now. A player who's been an absolute hero. A real Roy of the Rovers, if you like. Bora, like Hutchison, is a forward who'll throw his weight around and risk getting into trouble with his tackling.
I don't think there was anything wrong with Bora's tackle, man. I think it was pretty fair. I think it was just the impact of the collision, really, that's caused Colin Henry problems. They're down at the ankle. I know he's had some problems with his ankle over recent months. I don't know if it was that left one. They're a bit higher up, so perhaps not too bad.
Colin Hendry was voted third by the football writers in their poll for Footballer of the Year. Alan Shearer second. The Blackburn vote rather split, allowing Jurgen Klinsmann, congratulations to him, to be named yesterday as the Footballer of the Year for this particular season. Hutchison, Holmes, problems for Blackburn here. Allen going in, Monkeur's there, goalkeeper was flailing, and John Moncur from a tight angle couldn't hit the target.
It's half a chance. I thought Matthew Holmes might have delivered it first time because it was there to be delivered. Then he gets lucky here because the block from Kenna just sends it spiralling into the air. Tim Flowers completely misses it there, and Monkeur's onto it in a flash. He takes it quite high. I just wonder, could he have allowed it to drop another 6 inches at a foot, and it would have been easier to control. But I think they've got problems with Colin Henry. They're certainly worried about him because Mike Newell, as we can see out there, warming up. Both of them are.
Mark Atkins as well.
He doesn't look at all 100% happy at the moment, Colin Henry. Chris Sutton, I noticed, has just gone back and had a word with him and is now making moves forward.
Well, that would be one obvious way of solving the problem, or trying to solve it, by asking Sutton to play at centre-back, as he has done in the past at Norwich, of course, and indeed for England at under-21 level. Here he is still up front and trying a shot. But if they moved him back, Newell could then partner Shearer. But for the moment, it's all on hold because Hendry is going to soldier on. Julian Dicks was a scorer against Blackburn up at Ewood Park. Batty. Sutton. Sherwood. Sutton. That's interesting. For Shearer, was that handball? The linesman is flagging. It's wide in any case.
I just wonder if Julian Dicks is in a bit of trouble here. He is. He's just been booked. The tackle on Chris Sutton, right underneath you and I here, was a little late. Kelvin Morton, to his credit, allowed play to go on. Watch this tackle here as he just plays it. There it is. And that's the one he's booked for. But this is a handball. The left arm comes out. I'm not so sure Kelvin Morton would have had a good view of that. But the linesman flag went up straight away. And that's the booking.
It's hardly a new experience for Julian Dicks to be shown the yellow card. Breaker. Looking for Allen. Control is good. Hoists it up. Bora gets to it. Hutchison's there. Headed out by Berg. Bishop and Vichka. Drops for Allen and just rolls away from him. Moncur. Hutchison pulling out. Hendry gets his head to it. Sherwood. Chris Sutton yet again back in midfield when Blackburn need him. It's boiling up here now.
That was West Ham's best piece of pressure. But it was noticeable when they had the pressure, as you pointed out. Sutton right back into the midfield area, putting 10 men behind the ball, only leaving Alan Shearer ahead of it.
Pot's not the biggest, but he was well placed. He needs to be again. Sutton gets to it. Ripley. Corner. Mikloshko distracted in the end by Tim Sherwood. Just over 20 minutes gone. Vichka to take the corner, not too sure about the placing. Bounces off the head of Hutchison. His fellow striker Bura back as well. Moncur. Allen. Oh, Henry moving well enough there. Blackburn fans will be delighted to see that.
Yeah, it looks okay now.
Lasser. Batty. Away though from Ripley. Here's Dicks. Hutchison. Kelvin Morton this time after another latest challenge allows the game to go on. West Ham a little happier about that now that they've got the ball back. Hutchison is back on his feet. Very little time on the ball though, as Batty found out then.
He'll still be coming to speed, David Batty. Been out a long time, and it does take you, I think, 8 to 12 games to really get to match speed. And I think that shows a positive start from Blackburn Rovers. Look at all that pressure they're exerting.
But without, as yet, really troubling the goalkeeper. Holmes. Well, he's a popular figure here, Matt Holmes. Always seems to be taking on defenders looming much larger than the West Ham number 11. Moncur for Breaker. Linesman has his flag up. Kelvin Morton allows the game to go on, having acknowledged what was happening from his colleague. Here's Hendrick. Lasso. And the flag against Blackburn this time, and Vichka in particular.
I think it's probably just bent out for a throw-in. I think that's what the linesman was signalling.
Blackburn have been so consistent for so much of the season, but recently it's been a roller coaster ride for them, going back to that really panicky performance at Everton where they somehow came away with the points. Of course, they were looking very good at Leeds until they let in that last-minute equaliser. And then, of course, Manchester City made a real mess of their usually disciplined defence, a defence that's been penalised here in the shape of Berg.
You should see that Y's been penalised. Gets up early but uses his arms over the top of Bora's shoulders.
Berg got it the second time. Ripley. Jeff Kenna goes outside. Stuart Ripley. Infield the Sherwood and Batty. Well, Ripley had a look at the ball, he had a look at Sherwood to see whether he might have got there. Neither were able to do that, and it's a goal kick.
Well, they've been all right, Blackburn, up to what you would call the killing ground, the 18-yard box, and then it's rather just drifted away. Plenty possession, 30 yards, 35 yards from goal, but as yet no real penetration.
Chance for a man who played 100 Premiership games before today and scored 79 goals, a certain Mr. Shearer. Here he is. It's handball against him.
I mean, they've dominated possession, Blackburn, they're dominating territorially, but the scares have really been at Tim Flowers' end.
Accentuated by the crowd noise.
Of course.
Dicks. His game is more than just a rugged, robust approach. Here he is again. That's a fine ball to Breaker. Moncur. Vichka trying to get the tackling in as though he's really been well briefed about how to play the English game. He's in there again, but late on Breaker. But it's a Blackburn throw. Had a good hour in a reserve game recently, and on the strength of that, Kenny Dalglish deciding to go with the Dutchman today. Shearer does that donkey workout in the wide position so willingly. Not so often on the left-hand side, he likes to work onto his right foot. But he's battled to give Blackburn the throw, the ball in the hands of Lasso. And onto the head of Breaker. Hendrick. Well, it looks routine stuff along the back line, but they're playing here knowing that there are still banana skins between them and the title itself, and there could be a slip at any point. This is a difficult place to come and win.
It is at the best of times, as you pointed out, as Manchester United found out not so long ago. But when West Ham are desperate for the points, it makes it even more difficult.
Well, it was Moncur who got the better of Batty. The natural shape on that right-hand side.
He played a blind pass, I felt there, John Moncur, after winning the ball very well. Left everybody behind and just rather gave it away a bit.
John Moncur, of course, was relegated last season with Swindon. Steered wide to Ripley by Shearer. Can Blackburn press on from here? Helped by a slip from Holmes. Shearer. It comes for Kenna. And it flew across the face. It's a corner.
Well, that could just as easily have flown past Ludic across, going to the top corner. It's a lovely move again, though. Kenna got himself involved very early, and everyone thinks everyone's missed him out, but Shearer spotted the run and played a beautiful ball. And a yard lower, the big goalkeeper could have done nothing.
So Vichka will take the corner. Blackburn looking for a breakthrough here, which would mean so much to them. Oh, Sherwood. It's a corner again.
Yeah, I think that might have just been sneaking wide, but I don't think Tim Breaker was taking any chances. Drops down, he hits it very well. Just there, it is sneaking wide. But Tim Breaker didn't know that.
Well, Dicks and Fox rather confused. The earlier corner was met emphatically by Mark Reaper, but the smaller West Ham players had to deal with that one and weren't so convincing. Lasso. Martin Allen hit a real vein of form towards the end of last season to contribute, I think, 5 goals in the last 6 games. One of them here against Blackburn to help keep the Hammers in the division. Sherwood. Shearer, great climb. Ripley. Potts lofting it away. Happened the other way round a bit earlier. I'm willing to give Henning Berg the doubt that it wasn't intentional revenge. I think he's too cool a customer to risk getting in trouble for that. But it's rather balanced it up, hasn't it, Andy?
Well, I think all he did is he's learned. He put his head there 5 minutes ago and almost got it kicked off. He thought, well, I'm not putting my head there this time.
Julian Dicks is on first-name terms with most referees around. But I would stress again that he's a fine footballer. He's had to develop his career really with a handicap of a serious knee injury. He's done well to overcome that. Rather restricts his galloping forward these days, and Harry Redknapp's been concerned he's not getting up quick enough to take free kicks around the edge of the penalty area, which he wants him to do every time West Ham get them. They might get one here. They're looking for a penalty, and they're not going to get that. Emphatically denied by the referee's gesture.
I think Tim Shearer was a little bit unhappy. You could see him having words with Tim Breaker. I think he felt he made a little bit of a meal of that.
Holmes. Bora, the distraction. Hutchison has the shot, hits Lasso. Moncur. It's a bit more physical pressure from West Ham. They're getting bodies in there, the home team looking for an up-tempo approach. Moncur certainly supplying it. Dicks looking to hit it, scuffed it. Even then it might have come to something off Hutchison. Reaper has to scurry. And Shearer's right there, he made up the ground very quickly. I thought it might be his throw, but it's not.
Yeah, we can have a look at what they were talking about. Claiming for they're looking for one there. I thought he had a little tug at Hutchison, I have to say. But this is the one with Tim Shearer where he felt that maybe Tim Breaker went over rather easily there.
It was an easy decision to give. Vichka on Allen. Vichka played for Ajax and for Barcelona. Pretty good pedigree that. Now for Blackburn Rovers. Oh, nervous Blackburn Rovers then.
Well, I think Jeroen Vera is causing him a few problems aerially. I think every ball that they've knocked up to him, if he hasn't won it, then he's stopped either Berg or Henry getting a good, clean defensive header.
Well, the crowd calling for Kenna to be booked. Calvin Morton comes to that conclusion. Holmes was nipping past him.
Nice skill. He's a little unlucky, Jeff Kenna. He's only fractionally out with the tackle.
Possibilities here for West Ham United. Holmes takes. Oh, it looked for an instant as though Don Hutchison was well placed to head goalwards then. Potts are looking for Hutchison again. Moncur. Then Hendry got in, back from Breaker, too long.
Well, I, like you, thought Don Hutchison had a free header and was just about to plant one on target. Whether he took his eye off it, whether there was a Blackburn challenge in there, I'm not sure.
Don Hutchison, who of course was brought into the big time at Liverpool by Kenny Dalglish back in 1990. Bishop was clever with the ball at his feet, and a lovely pass for Holmes. The two big men for West Ham to Holmes' right. Martin Allen's on the scene as well. And Bishop. Oof. There's some angry reactions here. Batty booked.
I don't think there's any arguments about the referee's decision here. He's high and he's late.
Well, the argument, Andy, would be whether a yellow card is strong enough.
We mentioned his leniency early on, how he wasn't dipping into his pocket quickly, the referee. Now he's pulled David Batty over. I think he's going to have a quick word with him as well. I think he might just be explaining to him he's lucky that it isn't red.
Well, feelings, of course, very near the surface today. You can understand the emotions, the need for success, the desire for victory, the pursuit of the ball, but the ball is long gone. And Ian Bishop is happy to be back on his feet again here. But West Ham, you feel, are starting to prey on some Blackburn nerves.
Yeah, I thought that West Ham looked a more nervous side in the opening exchanges, and Blackburn certainly dominated that without really causing too many problems, but the home side look as if they're growing now a little bit.
Well, the instructions are for Dicks to take the free kicks, but it's into the wall this time. Breaker. Bora can get to this one, no. Hendry made it his. It's straight old-fashioned stuff, you might call it. The high ball in to one forward in particular who's fearless in putting his head on the crosses if he can get there, Jeroen Bora. Bishop turning back, he couldn't make the tackle that time, but Ripley had to, and it's a free kick, but only a free kick.
He did well there, Ian Bishop. First of all to win the ball, and then I think he won his team the free kick. Great little skill, little nutmeg on Stuart Ripley, and earned a free kick for obstruction.
West Ham really hotting up here. Holmes takes. That's Reaper, and it's going to loop over the top.
Oh, that was close. That was close. Unchallenged. Just about 2 or 3 inches too high for Mark Reaper. The ball's a good one in from Holmes. 6 inches lower, I felt sure he would have hit the target. This is the best spell though, and it is noticeable that Bishop's starting to put 1 or 2 passes and get involved a little bit.
Well, you get nothing easy in the English game, and long, long may that continue. And Blackburn here giving away a succession of free kicks. The shape of the game was changed. And
well, that's an unbelievable decision. Obviously the referee felt there was no infringement on Matt Holmes. Everyone else in the ground felt there was.
And it's handball because West Ham thought they were going to take the free kick. As you say, there was no whistle.
It's just after this now, he drags the ball back here. Watch, a little drag back there. Now that's a free kick in anybody's language. Vitschke just dragging his foot.
Well, the action finish, reflecting the change in the shape of the game. But here's Lasso, Blackburn looking to bounce back, and Shearer's in there. So too is Hendry. Reaper got his head to it. Bravery required. It really is compelling stuff at Upton Park. Kenna. And there will be more of the same, I'm sure, at Highfield Road tomorrow night. Coventry still need a point or two themselves against Manchester United, who will be wanting to win all 4 of their remaining games and just see whether Blackburn might crumble at the last. Hutchison. Here's Allen. Good work off the ball. Various candidates for that for West Ham. There were 1 or 2 options. Raker had gone down the outside. Hutchison wanted to be involved. Out come Blackburn with Batty. Shearer. That's the mobility of Steve Potts at the back for West Ham.
That was a great tackle.
Ripley.
Well, the pace is up to notch here too, hasn't it now?
Well, I think, like the referee, you and I are watching every challenge here very closely indeed. Shearer. Sutton's in front of Reaper. Well, Shearer had space there, but he wanted the ball played to him, and maybe there wasn't much room to move at the risk of being offside. Pushing by Bora, maybe a chance for Blackburn to get the ball into the box here. Quickly taken free kick. Out comes Mikloshko. He's so happy in England, he's hoping to become a British citizen, keep his family based here, where they've made so many friends.
I think we would have expected a busier afternoon in the opening 41 minutes than he's had.
Bishop. Brewer's caught another one. Hendry this time is...
Well, 2-1 now.
Well, he spilt some blood as well. He's had a sponge to his face. It is not an occasion for the faint-hearted.
I think, like most games this weekend, Martin, that have involved teams who are desperate for points, no surprise to see the game as tight as it's been.
And that means most games, because there's still so much to be decided.
I think for the teams that are down there, it's the fear factor, it's fear of making a mistake that costs your side so dear. But I must say that West Ham's attitude today has been first class.
Sherwood. Fitchka under challenge from Allen. Well, West Ham, I was at Norwich yesterday, and West Ham's so much more confident than City were at Carrow Road, when they had a real chance to beat Liverpool and then faltered at the last. Harry Redknapp actually went to watch Queen's Park Rangers play at Chelsea. Queen's Park Rangers who play West Ham in midweek, in the forthcoming week, and as he drove away early, so much good news kept coming through from Leeds, where Villa were beaten by a late goal, and of course at Carrow Road as well, Ian Rush struck with 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, I think for both West Ham and Coventry, they didn't play, but very, very good day for both of them.
Here, West Ham can influence proceedings themselves, and they're doing their utmost to do that. Harry Redknapp, who articulates better than most the pressures on managers in this situation, and he's just visual evidence of it, isn't he? Can't relax. Walking tension. They'd be able to relax if West Ham could win here. Really, they would believe with 3 more home games to come after that, that salvation should be attainable. They've got the win here yet. And Blackburn, although they've had a difficult 15 minutes or so, and that's really summed up by the scars on Hendry's face. Blackburn unbowed, Flowers not beaten. They haven't created a great deal going forward for all the SAS and the supporting troops. Kenna, Batty, here's Berg. Now Chris Sutton, glanced on for Shearer, looking to hold off Potts. Vichka joining in. No time for a rethink there from Sutton. Bishop. Here's Dicks. Oh, he's getting an earful from his teammates for that, and he was fighting back with a comment or two of his own. Berg. Close to half-time now. 0-0 at Upton Park. Batty. In case you've forgotten, Blackburn still have to play Newcastle at home. Newcastle perhaps still needing a point or two to qualify for Europe. They've gone off the boil dramatically recently. And the final game, almost poetically, at Anfield for Kenny Dalglish. The so. Could have sat up for Sherwood, didn't. It's been one or two nearly moments for Blackburn. Ripley gets it back from Bishop. Here's Kenna. Berg wins that battle with Brewer, but there'll be plenty more to come. Holmes. Play on, says the referee, with good judgment. Moncur. Brewer climbing. Allen was, what, 6 inches behind in the header. So nearly the link-up that West Ham have been looking for.
Again, it was Brewer causing the damage with that knockdown. I can't help thinking at times like that how they're missing Tony Cottee. Martin, I think that Don Hutchinson is not an out-and-out striker in the way that Cottee is. And I think that's just something that they've lacked off these little touches that Bora's been able to get on the ball. Someone with the instinct of a Tony Cottee.
Shearer's head. Bishop was trying to control it really on the half volley and didn't manage it in stoppage time.
Well, he didn't quite meet it. It was rather stretching when he finally made contact with the ball. Just on the stretch a bit, leaning slightly back, didn't quite make full contact with it.
And it's gone all the way through to Shearer. Kenna. Sutton. There's Dixon again and connecting with the ball. Kelvin Morton having a little look at him and a smile. There's nothing between these two teams. It's been a battling first half here. And Batty complaining to the referee who's not given Blackburn a free kick.
Well, this is the moment he's complaining about. I have to say, I think he's a bit unlucky. I think the fact that he popped up and he rode the tackle better than most have done this afternoon helped Matty Holmes.
Hendry.
It's not been an easy game for a referee to run the rule over. I have to say, there's been tackles flying in and it's been difficult for him to judge whether there's any intent in any of those.
Berg, Holmes, he lifted it away from Batty for a moment, and it deflects to Allen off Sherwood. Flowers makes absolutely sure, exaggerates the save.
It was spinning like a top. I think that was the thing that concerned Tim Flowers.
Well, the ball has been spinning around this pitch frantically after a fierce first half here. Blackburn started well, but haven't created too much to trouble Mikloshko, and West Ham certainly coming back at them as the half developed. At half-time here, it's West Ham United 0, Blackburn Rovers 0.
It's a cool, crisp, sunny winter morning. The temperature outside is 4 degrees Celsius with a chilly...
It's long before the summer rush. Summertime. And four of Britain's favourite sportsmen are taking their summer holiday early. Because Sky Sports are presenting so much live cricket.
Your daddy's rich.
So much live golf. So much big-time boxing. And lots of live football. That when summer does come, they'll be much too busy for a break. So take your holidays early before the summer rush to Sky Summer of Sport.
Take your seat this summer as England and Brazil compete in the International Challenge. Then from Uruguay, the Copa America. Live international football only on Sky Sports.
I'll be back on Friday. Oh, don't forget these. Bye. Bye.
This Fiesta SI has power-assisted steering, a 16-valve engine, and free insurance. You'd have to go a long way to find a car that's as much fun to drive.
Thank you, Nikki. That's okay. Au revoir.
The Ford Fiesta. It's much more of a car.
Not much sound on the new dishwasher by Ariston.
When people started traveling more often, we introduced what was right for the times. When people wanted to carry less cash, we also offered what was right for the times. And today, when the world doesn't always revolve on your terms, American Express introduces a credit card that gives you the credit you deserve. The new American Express credit card rewards you with an interest rate you'll appreciate and no fee for the first year. To apply, call now on 0800 700 717. It's the right card for the times.
Oh, hello. Have you seen it? It's a new 3-in-1 exchange in Mark. Look, the motor section has thousands of cars with a price guide and buying advice too. The business section is packed with ideas and equipment and even tells you which mobile phone service is best for you. Very handy. And in home and leisure, there's everything from security systems to sun lounges. If you don't find what you're after, faster, I'll eat my hat.
Four temperature selections on the convertible fridge freezer by Ariston.
JJB Sports and Head are the winning team for you. Bringing you the Renegade 2 Cross Trainer for $39.99 in senior sizes. We're at match point with the HT 355 tennis shoe in senior sizes at $29.99. The HT 200 ladies tennis shoes are a smash at $24.99. And it's game, set and match for the HT 3000 tennis shoes. Seniors at $26.99 and juniors at $19.99.
Everyone's a winner, baby.
Buy your glasses from Vision Express and they'll be ready in about an hour. Even bifocals and varifocals. And you'll get a pair of prescription sunglasses from a selected range worth at least £89 and absolutely free. free prescription sunglasses from Vision Express.
Frost-free fast freezing on the new fridge freezers by Ariston.
So, half-time at Upton Park. It's West Ham United 0, Blackburn 0. 9 attempts at goal in total, just 1 on target. That one from Martin Allen, right at the end of the half. 4 corners, 3 to Blackburn. 19 fouls, 1 or 2 of them ferocious. 3 booked, Kenna and Batty from Blackburn, Dicks from West Ham. The possession, 51% to Blackburn, who started well and then could be argued were hustled out of it. Ball in play, not even half an hour from nearly 49 minutes. The action area is 44% in that middle third there, 32% in West Ham's defensive third. And our guest today, the former Blackburn and Manchester United defender Kevin Moran. So are we anywhere nearer knowing where the trophy's going, Kevin, at the end of 45 minutes?
I thought this might be stalemate, and it's exactly what, in some ways, what most people predicted. A very hard-fought game, very committed game from both sides. And after a very lively start by Blackburn in the first 10-15 minutes, West Ham have come in very strongly into the game, and I would believe gone in by far the better team.
Blackburn Rovers had the better of the possession there, but West Ham United have forced more scares in Blackburn's box. Would you agree?
That's correct, yes, indeed. There hasn't been that many chances really in the game. This was possibly the better one at the time for John Moncur. Great ball in here by Matt Holmes, getting down to the end line. And even though it looked as if Jeff Kenna was just going to get just that touch on it, you see Tim Flowers coming out, and that for England's, I believe, the number one. Just a little bit flapping at it there a little bit.
Well, more than a little bit. Nowhere near it in truth, was it?
But this is difficult to try and keep the ball down, and also just a couple of feet below, that would have been a smashing goal.
Was there a penalty in there?
Though I didn't think so. I thought there was a couple of incidents where, first of all, with Colin Hendry here, you can just see a little pull there. Now, that I thought was more of a penalty incident than what happened later on here with Tim Breaker. He's gone down, and I think he's more or less tripped over Tim Sherwood's foot than actually Tim being the culprit.
If there was any contact at all. But you think there was possibly something going on earlier?
More so with Colin
Bearing
Hendry.
in mind the penalty that Blackburn conceded against Manchester City recently.
That's right, indeed, yeah. But the referee obviously doesn't have the view that we have. We see it over and over again here. But certainly, without a doubt, Colin Hendry pulled the short and pulled him to the ground.
Here it comes again. Let's have anher look. Thinking
Just
back to that one at Ewood Park. Here,
he's come back in then.
Round Hutchinson.
There, you can see the grip on the short then. But I'll be honest with you, all defenders do that to a large extent. It's just a question whether the referee is up to it or
whether they do it or not.
It
doesn't make it right, does it? If the referee sees it, is that a penalty?
If the referee sees that is a penalty because he's pulled him to the ground by a short. The game against City, the referee saw it. That's the reason why he gave a penalty.
Some of the tackling has been lively, to say the least, hasn't it? Both teams
has
committed.
Both teams.
But
it's what you
is David Batty lucky still to be on the pitch?
Well, if we see it here now coming up, I believe that he himself, he's gone in. We all know what a committed player he is. But if you look high up, he's actually caught the West Ham player. And no, I think he will be saying to himself, he's a lucky man that it wasn't a red card that came out there.
You think it could well have been?
It could well have been, yes.
OK, so it's 0-0 at half-time, and we've got a lively 45 ahead of us. Can anybody find the impetus and the momentum required to win it?
Well, all you're going to need now is just a bit of luck from both sides. We know that both teams are very much committed to winning this particular game. Neither of them are sitting back saying a draw is what they need. It's just going to be a question of a mistake. Who's going to be the team, defensive-wise, that's just going to give away a little error? Because I believe this game here, if one team's going to win it, there's just only going to be the odd goal in it.
And Manchester United and their playing staff will be sitting at home watching this thinking, well, yes, possibly. We're still in there and pitching. They're, of course, at Highfield Road tomorrow to play Coventry City. That's live on the Monday Night Football. This afternoon, Super Sunday at Upton Park. It's West Ham 0, Blackburn Rovers 0. Still to come this afternoon, of course, looking back on Saturday's action. But next, the second half, live.
Now I know you're gonna dig this.
Big on spec. Go with the new Rally Max. Corrosion protected, oversized, not overweight. Lighten up, cool out, get hot on the rocks.
The oversized Max, designed by Rally in America, built in Nottingham.
England.
Buy your glasses from Vision Express and they'll be ready in about an hour, even bifocals and varifocals, and you'll get a pair of prescription sunglasses from a selected range, worth at least £89, and absolutely free. Free prescription sunglasses from Vision Express.
Eurodollar. Good morning.
Your first choice with Eurodollar car rental. License okay? Charge card okay? Route okay? RAC backup okay? Instruments okay? Car choice okay? Eurodollar. We'll help you all the way. Just think Eurodollar.
Meet Kate, Benny, Sandy, and Bob. They're the Blockbuster Entertainment team. They buy more copies of new films for you to rent than anyone.
I want 25,000 copies nationwide.
So that when you want to watch it, we got it. Blockbuster Video, the entertainment team.
This is Runsil Quick Dry and Wood Stain. You can't miss it. It comes in a tin with Runsil Quick Dry and Wood Stain on it. It protects and it's rainproof in about 30 minutes. Which means in about 30 minutes, your wood's rainproof and protected. So if you've got wood to stain and you want it to dry quickly, use Runsil Quick Dry and Wood Stain. It does exactly what it says on the tin.
British Airways. We cover the world.
Oh, the first time they asked me to look after the overseas clients and the car won't start.
Do you want to take the Fiesta? I'm working from home today.
Okay. Thanks.
This Ford Fiesta has power steering, a 16-valve engine, free insurance, and a little more room than you might expect.
Hiya! Hi! Well, the garage rang. Your car won't be ready tomorrow. I've booked you a cab.
The Ford Fiesta. It's much more of a car.
Now, there's only one place to see big-time boxing. The undefeated Prince Nassim Hamid defends his WBC International Super Bantamweight title against Enrique Angeles. The only place to see boxing. Big time, live and exclusive Saturday night at 9 on Sky Sports.
Welcome back. Goalless here. West Ham 0, Blackburn Rovers 0, but here's a chance to win £200 as we play ball. Lines are open. This is the action from last year at Ewood Park. Blackburn against West Ham. Ball's about to disappear as it's crossed into the near post. Kevin Gallagher's the player to keep your eyes on. Here he comes now, and the ball's gone. Where does it end up? Three choices as usual. A's over the bar, B's a goal, C is wide right. Kevin Moran hasn't got a clue. The lines are open. 0891 700 550. 0891 700 550. The top prize, £200. Still to come on Super Sunday, of course. All of Saturday's action when Andy joins us in here. But Kevin, goalless, anything can happen.
That's right, anything can happen this half. As I said, I believe it'll still be stalemate at the end of it. Whether either team can get a goal or not, I'm not too sure. There hasn't been that many chances in the first half, but our players get a little bit tired now in the second half, and maybe a little a few creeks start opening up in defences or not, you never know. Bit of luck maybe on one thing, a bit of skill and ability from Shearer, or are we going to have something from Hutchinson? Who knows? But it's going to be an enthralling second half anyway.
It's been a terrific 45 so far. A lot of Blackburn supporters have made their way south, believing their team could edge closer to the championship today. Can they? Or can West Ham scramble a good deal clearer? Let's rejoin Andy Gray and Martin Tyler.
Thank you, Richard. West Ham have been a league club since 1919, and their biggest defeat in all that time came at home to Blackburn Rovers, 8-2, Boxing Day 1963, famous not only for the margin, but also for the fact that a couple of days later the teams met again at Ewood Park, and West Ham got immediate revenge by winning 3-1. But here it's 0-0. And West Ham certainly ruffling the Blackburn feathers as the half developed, Andy.
Yeah, I think so. I think Harry Redknapp would have been delighted. He would have liked a goal, but I think he'd have an easy, not an easy half-time, but quite a good half-time to say to these lads, keep it going, pick up the tempo. That's important now. A half-time break, everyone tends to go a little bit flat. They'll be stressing the importance of picking the pace up again right away.
Well, Blackburn have been rather like a batsman looking for a maiden century, stuck in the nervous 90s. They don't have the proven record of success. It's there at Old Trafford, their counterparts in this championship race. But they do have the points in the bag, but they need some more. 5 would end all the arguments. But of course, depends on Manchester United taking a maximum 12 from their last 4 games. Shearer's header down. Reaper cleared by Dicks. Perhaps another example there, Andy, of what you said about the absence of Tony Cottee, as Boer reflected on.
I think that's right. Cottee wouldn't have been thinking of anything of coming short the way Hutchinson did there, but he would have been looking in behind. Just gambling in behind. I do think they have missed that. It's been unfortunate for Harry Redknapp that Cottee wasn't available.
And it's a calf strain, in case you missed the news at the start of our programme. Had they taken a chance with him and he broken down today, of course that would probably finish him for the remainder of the season. So I'd like to have him preferably against Queen's Park Rangers here on Wednesday. Holmes. This is Moncur. Even Henry didn't break it up cleanly. Holmes lets fly. Kenna got in the way. Hutchinson. And this is Vichka. Sherwood. Good pressure applied by Hutchinson. Bishop's pass. Well, it was an inviting one, but the flag has gone up against Bora.
That was a lovely ball from Bishop. Once again, I always think if you're a front man and you're looking right along the line, there's no excuses here for being offside. He's looking right across the line of defenders there. You've just got to hold your position, but strikers get so anxious to get ahead and get forward. So often they catch up themselves offside.
He did approach the shots with the look of a man who'd rather have a far post cross head height. Berg. Hendry. Shearer. Fox was able to get there, and Alan Shearer still on the fringes of this match, really, but the threat, of course, is there all the time. Getting too much service, but Blackburn looking a bit better here with Ripley. Showing he may be small, but he is strong. Bora tucking it neatly infield for Bishop. Lasso breakers sold forward here by the pass. Lasso's cross, in goes Shearer.
Well, he would have fancied that. Steve Potts, as we said, not the biggest. Martin Allen's just about to be booked, Martin, I think, down in front of us for that earlier tackle. He has been on Graham Lasso, but certainly Shearer would have fancied that cross as it comes in. Potts is backing up, so you know he can't get up that high. Shearer's all over the top of him. Will be a little bit disappointed he hasn't hit the target with that, Alan Shearer.
The fourth booking of the game. 2 for each club. Annoyed again with the attentions of Batty. Bora climbing. Again, Hutchison not quite reading the flicks.
There's enough there though, Mark, to give them confidence to aim at the big lad, isn't there? He's winning his fair share. We haven't seen Bergen Henry clear too many back up to the halfway line.
Frank Clark was telling me after Forest played West Ham recently that Bora's given them trouble on a couple of occasions. Breaker. Flowers got to it. Bora was hoping that might be his moment.
Well, that's a typical West Ham build-up when Tim Breaker gets involved, Martin, because he gambles when the ball's on the left-hand side of play. And Bishop spotted him beautifully. Played a great ball into space, and Tim Flowers does really well here. Full stretch. Just gets enough on it.
Moncur will take the corner. Reaper! West Ham have taken the lead through the big defender, Mark Reaper. His first goal in English football, and it could be a disastrous one for Blackburn Rovers to concede.
Well, they don't often concede. I think his look said it all. It's a set piece. They watch Reaper. He pulls in behind. He almost made them pay first half with a header. He certainly makes them pay this time. Nips in behind Chris Sutton as his marker. Powers the header down. Batty's just drifted off the post. You look at David Batty's position. He just leaves that half a yard at the post where he should be marking. It would have hit him on the chest if he'd have stayed there. And then it sneaks.
Well, the game stopped here, and Mark Reaper can clear his head of the obvious euphoria to concentrate on the defending that might be necessary. There was concern for Graham Rousseau, but he's picked himself up. Blackburn Rovers have got to pick themselves up. Here comes McCloskey to tumultuous applause from the West Ham fans, who are blowing their traditional bubbles here, waving the hammers, the inflatable kind, we hope. Because Mark Reaper, the Danish international defender on loan from the Danish club Brøndby. Hutchison, Flowers has to drop down, but it's always passing wide.
Yeah, there's no doubt they're shaking Blackburn Rovers with a performance since about the 15-minute mark. And Matt Holmes, you watch the quick feet here. Lovely stuff there. Slips it to Hutchison. I think, to be fair, the goalkeeper has that one covered. They were doing enough to be level, Blackburn, Martin. Certainly not enough to be winning the game, and not enough to get back in it. They've got to step up the game if they're going to get anything out of this. The remote was a set piece. In my opinion, it was a move that preceded it. It was the important thing. The wonderful build-up, the ball from Bishop, the run from Breaker, that earned the corner. That was the important part.
And then a simple fact from the corner of an attacker beating a defender in the air. Although in positional terms, of course, it was a defender beating an attacker in Reaper getting in front, or getting above Chris Sutton to guide it in.
Well, it was very similar to Gary Pallister's goal in the semi-final, wasn't it, when he pulled behind his marker. That's exactly what Mark Reaper did there. Chris Sutton got attracted to the ball, and it was a movement of a front man, not a centre-back.
Here's the sun. Well, if Blackburn Rovers want to be champions, even though the points tally tells you that the destiny will still be in their own hands, as of looking for Potts.
Well, that's an unusual sight, isn't it, Martin? Steve Potts getting a yellow card. He had a little nibble at Graham Lasso here. Lasso, you see the elbow comes round now, and then the kick. I think that's what he was booked for, but he was unhappy about Lasso's right arm coming across into his facial area.
Lasso. Well, West Ham believe their recent form has been far above a side in relegation trouble. And they're justifying Harry Redknapp's belief in his players so far. Goal coming in the 6th minute of the second half.
There's a game on now. A lot of football to be played still in this match.
Mark Reaper, incidentally, has attracted the attentions of Turkish football, where there's a lot of money, of course. He's, as I say, only on loan here, although that loan runs till the end of the year, not the end of the season. West Ham hope to be able to keep him. They'll certainly be redoubling the efforts, you feel, after that priceless goal. And some important defending prior to that. We've seen very little of Alan Shearer and Chris Sutton. It's a bit of a silver lining, Mark Reaper to the cloud hanging over Alvin Martin, who's had neck trouble, hamstring trouble. As I'm sure you've read it over the past couple of days, they want him to stay here as well and have offered Alvin a contract which would complete 20 years as a Hammer. Show. This is Lasso. Trying to make something happen. Blackburn need that. Let's hear from Nick Collins. Nick.
Well, Martin, because it's remained overcast, referee Kelvin Morton has just asked the club officials to put the floodlights on, so look out for that. You might be able to see it a bit better in a little while. The floodlights are about to go on.
Well, they like the floodlights here at West Ham, of course. We mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, we finally got it in, didn't we? It's always special under the lights here at Upton Park. I think what's important for Harry Redknapp's side that they don't get nervous now, Martin. They've got the goal and that they don't say, well, that's going to be enough, and we'll sit back and absorb pressure. I think that would be fatal. It's important that they keep playing the way they have done. Well, for a good 40 minutes now.
Blackburn haven't been functioning, not after that bright 15 minutes. Part of that down to West Ham, but maybe a significant part down to worry as well. The finishing line is in sight. They're leading the race. Somehow, just since the belief has waned in recent weeks. Well, he's not the Grim Reaper now, is he? The happiness for the Danish defender. Batty. Kenna. Sherwin. Quick feet again from Potts to balance out the height of Reaper in the centre of the defending. Kenna assessing what's on for the long throw. It's a very long throw, and right underneath it is Mikloshko, the whistle.
He took a right gamble as well, the goalkeeper, because he came out very, very early. walked in amongst the players and just plucked out the air. But it's that man's goal that separates him. Now look at Sutton, 16, you see. He was a marker. And he just pulled behind him, but look how important is Batty on the post. I always think when you put players there, often told him when I was coaching, man, hold on to it. Get your arm, your left arm on that post, then you know you're not leaving it. David Batty left that crucial, half a yard there of space.
Shearer. Danger of jumping into Allen then. Breaker. Bora. Well, they're all doing a bit for West Ham United. It's a very committed performance. Maybe slightly relaxed because others who could have stolen a march on them yesterday failed to do so. Batty. Half an hour left.
Might be a long half hour for West Ham, but I bet for Blackburn if it stays 1-0 it'll fly past.
Well, I think you can see a redoubling of the efforts to try and involve Shearer. Because Alan Shearer has had a bit of a knee problem. A few weeks ago he missed some training. It's not always easy to exact information from Blackburn Rovers Football Club as to just how fit or not he might be. Potts. They'll be looking for leadership from the captain here. Hendry. Lasso come so far together, these Blackburn Rovers players. Ripley. As Alec Ferguson has been saying, Manchester United can't win the title, Blackburn can only lose it. That's the way he puts it. Well, they're losing the game here at the moment. Holmes popping up in the centre of West Ham's defending. Kenna. Batty. Kenna made a bit of space for himself here. Or scored his first goal for the club in the last match against Crystal Palace.
Well, it really did open up for Jeff Kenna. Just tucked inside and no one went to confront him. They backed away. A tight angle. It's always difficult to score.
Hutchison. Berg. Headed on by Shearer. Sutton and Reaper behind him. Made Vitchka check. Sherwood put it right for Lasso this time. Sutton trying to be there first. It's a corner. Well, they went behind Blackburn from a left-wing corner. Can they use the same route for an equaliser? Hutchison steered it away.
Well, you can put as many men as you like in there from a corner, Mark, but you've got to deliver it. And Vitchka certainly didn't then.
That he does. Goalkeeper comes through the crowd. And this huge man who has made himself such a popular figure here. He's not missed the league game for more than 3 years. He wasn't going to miss this ball.
He's taken 1 or 2 chances today and gotten away with them. That's a good call. You could see Reaper was about to head the ball, and obviously the call was a good, clear one from the goalkeeper. Just pulled his head out the way and made the catch easy.
Holmes. That's Berg. It's a weak header. Bishop. Moncur. Blackburn finding it hard to get out though. They've got Kenna to clear. Shearer to show. Steer it off to Ripley. Blackburn's throw.
Now they'll get nothing today, Blackburn, unless they really, really earn it. West Ham are in no mood, I feel, to give anything away cheaply.
Sherwin. It's, well, a little more potent, shall we say.
He's getting more and more involved further up the field, Tim Sherwood, since they've gone behind. It's a nice link up with Sutton. He just pops it off, and he's a bit unlucky. Skips past Bishop, and it opens up for him. He just dragged the shot, just a touch, not much. Only a bit of yard wide. But I expect to see more and more of this from Tim Sherwood as the game goes on.
It is very rare for Blackburn to fail to score in a league game. It's only happened 4 times this season. They haven't scored here and they're in danger of conceding a second. Hutchison dispossessing Berg. He feels it should be a corner.
I thought he
gives a goal kick.
I thought he picked out the very difficult option. After winning the ball really well and getting away, you can see Moncur trying to get in. Well, that's a really difficult angle to be looking to beat someone like Tim Flowers from.
I'm not sure that Hutchison ever spotted Moncur. He was, as you say, desperately trying to get towards the far post area.
Just not happening for Blackburn at the moment. It's been 66 frustrating minutes. Well, they've enjoyed a lot of the possession, as you can see there. But I think for the majority, West Ham have been very, very comfortable at the back. But I think that's a credit to their defending as well.
Sutton making his own luck against Dicks. Still Chris Sutton. And still McCloskey was on his toes when it looked as though he wasn't going to be required, that defenders would deal with the danger. Sutton wasn't giving it up. And out comes Breaker. Well, there's such a big difference these days between the haves and the have-nots, and staying in the Premiership. West Ham want to be amongst the elite. It's shone through their performance here. Batty. Here's Moncur. Kenna had actually positioned himself very well and legitimately got in front of Moncur playing the ball.
I don't think it'll be too long until Kenny Dalglish is thinking of making a change. I think Richard Vitska's rather drifted in the second half. He hasn't been involved very much at all, and with Mike Newell on the bench, it wouldn't surprise me if that was a type of change that Kenny Dalglish was looking at.
Well, Sutton's got in front of Breaker. Shearer.
That's typical of it. Yeah, it's typical of it, Martin. Good possession in a really dangerous area. The important pass has gone astray. You have days like that. If you want to be champions, when you're on a day like this, you've got to dig it out. Dig out a result somehow.
should Blackburn lose. Of course, they still have 6 points to play for their last 2 games, and they only need 5. But my goodness, how much those matches come into sharp focus there. At home to Newcastle for Kenny Dalglish, and then away at Anfield, as he's tired, I'm sure, of everyone telling him. The only influence he can exert on the team now, really, is to change the personnel. So, Atkins and Newell. There are some relative newcomers. Vichka, you've mentioned. David Batty, of course, seems like a newcomer. His second full game of the season. There's Jeff Kenna as well.
That was super defending from Steve Potts there. Just for a moment there looked a dangerous situation developing, and he read it beautifully.
As he does again. Hutchison. Holmes away from Burke, confronting Kenna. Bora goes to the left, lovely run from him. Also there was movement from Moncur to the other side.
It's easy from up here, but I do think that was the most difficult ball he chose. Moncur, in fact, Bora created his run. As he runs across the back of Holmes here, he creates a bit of space there. Now just to the left, John Moncur is in acres of space. But it's always easy to pick out passes when you're sitting 50 foot up and watching the whole picture.
Well, Blackburn brains must be buzzing here. Batty. Cross from Ripley. Colin Hendry's right in there. McCloshko, as he balked. Shearer! No. It's not given. It is not given.
Well, he's come for absolutely everything. I said a little earlier, he's taken chance after chance, McCloskey, to be fair to him. He has come for absolutely everything. Now let's watch it closely. Henry knocks it back in. Well, I tell you what, I think they're a little unfortunate, Blackburn. You watch it again, he makes up his mind he's coming for this. He's one of his own players, and I mean, Sutton to me is he's not off the ground, he's doing nothing but looking at the ball. I don't think you can see McCloskey coming from behind him. I think they're a little fortunate, West Ham.
And it was clearly Chris Sutton who was penalised. Shearer did nothing wrong.
Well, it was Sutton, no doubt, Mark. That's what the free kick was given for.
Sutton's offside. Blackburn are going to make a change. Well, Mike Newell has waited patiently while others have been getting the glory. Maybe now he can come on here and do something really decisive in Blackburn's time of need. The signing of Sutton, of course, relegated Newell really to status of backup player. Ripley is coming off. But Blackburn had the ball in McCloshko's net. Had that goal been given, I think Newell would be still sitting there with his tracksuit top on. But he's sent on. Hutchison. Back to him, by the head of Kenna. Batty is walking the disciplinary tightrope booked in the first half. He's not going to incur further refereeing displeasure, except in the shape of the West Ham free kick. It was a risk.
Yeah, I mean, he's just put his hip, it's almost a hip throw there. I don't think there was any risk of him getting booked for that. Well, he has an anxious little glance. We can have a look again, Mark, at this. Now look, there's Sutton. Now it's Tim Breaker who's all over him. Now the right arm goes up over McCloskey. Now that might well have been what the referee saw. I'm not so sure Chris Sutton knew an awful lot about who was behind him. But perhaps that right arm just coming up and impeding McCloskey was what Kelvin Morton saw.
Kerr takes the free kick. In comes Dicks. Well, disallowed goals for Blackburn. You think back to Old Trafford, whether this will be set alongside it, but on both those occasions, Blackburn not playing well when they thought they'd scored and a referee thought otherwise. Batty. Newell. Great numbers now. Here is Newell! Oh. They clipped the frame of the goal.
Well, that goalkeeper beating all ends up. That was quite beautifully struck from Mike Newell. Hard to look, it's like no backlift at all, just strikes it so sweetly. McCloskell's given that up for dead. He thinks he's beaten. He is beaten. The one thing that saves him, it just clips the top of the framework.
Newell, he's given it to Hutchison. Good tackle by Batty. Lasso lines it up. Oh, McCloskell's lost it. Shearer's there, Sutton's there, linesman's flagging. In following in, Blackburn caught offside.
Well, it bounced up at a horrible height for Steve Potts. When they're enjoying a fair share of luck now, that's a wicked one to deal with. It bounces just in front of him.
But where's
Shearer
the
keeps
offside?
it in. I didn't think he was offside. I'm not so sure he was. And whether they would have cleared it or not, certainly didn't look offside.
Bora has gone off injured. On comes Matthew Rush to play a part here before he starts a 3-game suspension for being sent off recently in a reserve match. He would be available again for the last match of the season for West Ham. We shouldn't forget that one. It is here against Manchester United. It's Rush, and Flowers did very well.
Oh yeah, well done the goalkeeper.
Oh, that would have been for the substitute. Reaper, misheading. Pops in the right place again. He's been splendid on behalf of that West Ham defence. Batty. There's Moncur tracking back.
It's going to be a long 15 minutes for West Ham.
Kenny Dalglish trying to get to the ball there. His ball boy.
He's after the ball and Harry's after his team, trying to G them up.
Richka, who had a good first half but's hardly been seen in the second. Shearer. Kenna collects. Batty. Blackburn would take the draw here, Andy, now.
Oh, you bet your life he'd take the draw now. You know, in all honesty, I think Harry Redknapp would have taken the draw. See Harry, look, relax. I think he's trying to get Don Hutchins saying, hold the ball, give our defenders a breather. That's what's so important for front men at times when they're under the cosh, is that when the ball's knocked up to them, they can hold on to it for 5 or 10 seconds, just to give the back four a breather. I think that's what he was trying to stress there.
Well, Rush has come on to play up front with Hutchison, who is now the main big man, although when Bora was on, he was more the supporting player. Well, that sums it all up for you. It's not even just the defeat here, it's the damage to morale for the 2 remaining games for Blackburn Rovers. But of course, Manchester United, as we keep saying, have got their own work to do. They've been quite happily letting Blackburn have the pressure. But if Blackburn lose, well, Coventry will certainly be pumped up tomorrow night. You'll see it, of course, live here on Sky Sports, every step of the way in this championship challenge, which might go all the way. Well, one of the biggest crowds of the season here at Upton Park, and the vast majority very happy with what they've witnessed to this point.
I must say they don't have the look of a side who are going to be in trouble, Martin, if they can play like this.
Rush, Allen. It's still going West Ham's way. And Allen got in some sort of cutback. Vichka. He looks tired. The flag has gone up against Rush.
I think it says something about a team, Martin, when you're 1-0 up and you're desperate for points and you're into the last 10 minutes. I looked up there, and who was the furthest player they had up the pitch? Tim Breaker, the right back.
Newell. Vichka. And a little cuff round the ear, Rush to Lasso. And a bit of by-play as well afterwards, words exchanged. Blackburn need to keep their composure. Berg. Hutchison working hard to try and stop Berg setting a decent ball forward. He's picked out Shearer. This is Newell. Lasso. That's a corner.
They've got plenty of height options as well, Blackburn now on the pitch with their arrival of Mike Newell, Colin Henry, Henningberg, Sutton, Shearer. They've certainly got plenty of targets. And West Ham aren't the biggest side in the league.
Hendry, who's regained his scoring touch. In recent weeks, he's scored in each of the last two games he's participated in.
I think this is what I mean. I think Reaper's got a real problem. He had half an eye on Berg and who's marking Colin Henry, and someone's got to mark Shearer. The big men like Reaper and Hutchison who would be marking, have really got a problem in who to pick up.
With Sutton and Newell as well.
Exactly. Sometimes it's a matter of the biggest players there, you just tell them mark space, and if the ball's in your area, go and attack it and win it.
Cross comes Breaker. A very tight-knit family club, West Ham United. The players have a day-to-day relationship with the supporters. Well, they've been tightly knit defensively here at the team. As Blackburn continue to have the possession, Mikloshko trying to get out to where he might catch a long throw. Shearer, the chance to tee something up in the centre. Potts in the right place again. Blackburn Rovers chasing the game. Oh, hesitation between Breaker and Potts. Potts recovered. Moncur, lovely change of direction to lose Batty. Not panicking to find Allen. In comes Lasso, foot raised. Breaker. Bishop. There's a ball on here to Rush. It's away from Hendry. Blackburn in distress again. Don Hutchison by the far post. Moncur is there as well. Here's Moncur. Here's Hutchison. West Ham believe they're home and dry here. They lead by 2 goals to 0.
And it was all down to the pace of Matthew Rush. You mentioned that they didn't have it in the first half, but on his substitute, the pace is important there. Henry would have won that tackle against most other players, but watch the way he keeps his head. Doesn't pick out Hutchison, they get a bit of luck here. And Tim Flowers doesn't get any, and Don Hutchison drills it straight under the goalkeeper's body. But that was all about Matthew Rush's pace taking him clear. And they got a bit of luck. But they've worked hard and they've deserved every bit of luck they've had today.
Oh, what can Blackburn be feeling? Hutchison wouldn't have played if Cottee had been fit. Rush might not have been required then. But the two of them have come up with an attack here and a goal that has got the league leaders further into the mire. Vichka was calling for a handball there. Shearer, who seemed to see it as well, wasn't so animated in his protest.
Isn't it wonderful when you think how deep into the game we are, how a team are desperate for points, that there wasn't a thought, Martin, of them just clubbing the ball up the pitch. It was another piece of nice build-up and a lovely ball from Bishop yet again.
Well, we've had this phrase, and we've heard it so often, too good to go down, but West Ham have been saying it and meaning it, and today they've been showing it.
You can have good players, Martin, but it's what those players are prepared to do. And Harry Redknapp's players in the last month, 6 weeks, have done everything that the manager's asked of them. And today's, it's not an exception, the performance you're seeing today. You know, they've really worked hard to get it. He's got a bad one, there's a lot of blood around there. Look at it on his left hand.
It is Don Hutchison. Well, just as I said earlier, Andy, a player once signed by Kenny Dalglish, Don Hutchison.
I'll tell you what,
he's scored here and then taken a heavy blow.
He's taken a right whack there. But when he gets up and he thinks about this moment, then I'm sure the pain will be a lot less. I mean, Tim Flowers is so unlucky. He's got the shot covered comfortably, but the little nick off Jeff Kenna was important. And that's the only space to do. Under the goalkeeper there, driven low and hard.
Well, he's had something of a bad boy image, has Hutchison at Liverpool and even in his short time with West Ham. But he is a player of talent, and it's been the right side of him that we've seen today.
He looks really shaken up.
Really, as you say, dazed by it all. At long last, it seems that Simon Webster is going to make his first senior appearance for West Ham United. He was signed almost 2 years ago from Charlton, was injured straight away seriously in a training accident with Julian Dicks, strangely enough. He's been out for so long, he's had 7 games on loan at Oldham, and he's surprised Harry Redknapp by his rate of recovery. And here he is, feeling a West Ham player at last on because of the misfortune for the scorer of the second goal. But that's what's being acknowledged there by Harry Redknapp as he pats Hutchison's head as he makes his way off for attention. So there are some stories here today. Triumph for West Ham. Will it be tragedy for Blackburn Rovers?
Well, they've got a lot to do. They haven't given me the impression they're going to get back into the game. Apart from that one Shearer goal, it was disallowed. And really that wasn't a chance that they really carved out. They've had problems creating an awful lot today.
Sherwin, it's a good strike.
I think there's a half of Manchester, Martin, will have enjoyed this game very much today.
Well, you say get back into the game. What about the championship position here? It's still in Blackburn's hands, even losing. But
yes, that's right. There's no doubt about that. But 2 big games. You wouldn't want to have to take 6 points from Newcastle and Liverpool. But you have to do that, and you know that, if they want to be league champions.
He's playing with a freshness as though the season's only just begun. Good touchdown by Rush. Remember, they've lost both their front men now, West Ham, Bora and Hutchison. Well, Andy, it's time for you to make your decision about the man of the match.
Well, I think when you play Blackburn, you've got to have a back four that plays well, and I think they've had that today. And you've got to have your centre-backs play well. I think Mark Reaper's played exceptionally well, but A guy who doesn't caught many headlines but gets on with the job and leads by example. My Carling Premiership Man of the match, Steve Potts.
Champagne for the West Ham captain. Played almost 350 games here for his only club. Rush, roundly rebuked by Harry Redknapp for that red card in a recent reserve game. But he's done something positive to get back in the manager's good books since coming on as a substitute. And the crowd have just been informed of Andy Gray's award to Steve Potts as the Carling Premiership Man of the Match. They've fought for every ball from the first whistle, and Blackburn have not matched that. Holmes squeezing it through for Rush. Shearer, Sutton, Potts is back there again. Vichka going through the motions, really trying to get across quickly to take the corner as we go into stoppage time. But the margin is irreparable here. There's no one to find with a long clearance, so he puts it out of play.
Found the manager, that's good enough. 91st minute, they're quite happy.
Newell. Here's Reaper. Newell. Well, it's the anthem that West Ham are known for throughout the football world. I haven't had too many occasions to sing it this season, but this is a proud victory for them, a significant victory for them. But what of Blackburn Rovers?
It's very much a deserved victory in my opinion. They've been the better side on the day. They look like, and I know it's not true, they've looked like they've wanted it just that little bit more. I said I felt it was a bigger game for West Ham and Blackburn, and certainly that looks as if it showed in the match. Blackburn can have no arguments about the final result.
And Manchester United still have to play. Shearer. Moncur. Now Allen, holding the shape on the right-hand side. Breaker. That's a push by Rush, but Hendry is a hard man to shrug aside whatever the circumstances, and he went rather easily then, as Blackburn have today. Lasso. Moncur settling for what West Ham have achieved already. Bishop. Batty. Now Newell. For Shearer. Bishop able to steer a steady path along the edge of that penalty area, which wasn't easy. Into the 4th minute of time added on. Blackburn know there's nothing they can do today. It has to be another day. They will hope for help from those who play Manchester United in their 4 remaining games. Rush is well offside, and Kelvin Morton now surely is only dealing in seconds. Batty. Newell. Sherwood's got one or two to his left. Vichka. Lasso, it deflects off Breaker. Still time perhaps for a corner to be taken. But surely not time to ruin West Ham's afternoon. John Hutchison, we hear, has broken his nose in the West Ham cause. That was Holmes, I think, who got to it. Shearer tries to plant it back. It's just not happening. Rush. Well, he's got a long, long way to go. Vichka trying to get with him. Flowers gets a hand to it, and there's no follow-up. Blackburn are beaten. No disputing the margin. West Ham have played so well, and the championship story still has a chapter or two to be written. Mark Reaper with the crucial first goal here. John Hutchison with the second. West Ham win, and they are on the way up at Upton Park, and they hope out of trouble. But Alan Shearer and his team have got to get their heads together now. Let's just remind you of the championship situation. The finishing line is in sight. Blackburn's destiny is still in their own hands, much depending on what Manchester United do in 2 matches before Blackburn are back in action in 8 days' time. But West Ham, with 4 games to go, 3 of them here, are in great spirits. Harry Redknapp paints such vivid pictures of managerial pressures, but he can feel more relaxed tonight. His players have done him proud, while the bus heading back tonight to Blackburn might well contain some very nervous characters. West Ham United 2, Blackburn Rovers 0.
Were you watching Manchester? You bet. It's over to you. So much to look back on from a smashing match at Upton Park, all of Saturday's goals. Kevin Moran's our guest. We'll get his thoughts and reaction.
You had a man here.